Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Phoenix City, Alabama. This is Municipal Stadium in Phoenix City and the 4th annual Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, with Towson State of Maryland taking on St. John's University for the National Championship of Division III College Football. My name is Steve Zabriskie. It'll be my pleasure to bring you the play-by-play, and working as our expert commentator, the former head coach of Michigan State University, Duffy Doherty. Duffy, it's a pleasure to be working with you again, and we're covering Division III college football. For people who aren't really too familiar with the different divisions, what is denoting Division III football from the others?
Well, it's a misnomer to call Division III teams small college teams, because actually some of them, like Towson State, have 15 or 16,000 students. The way you tell whether you're a Division I or Division II or Division III, this is determined by the schools themselves. Division I teams, which are popularly considered major college football teams, are permitted under the NCAA rules to give 30 grants of unearned financial aid a year. Well, all the aid in Division III must be given on the basis of financial need. And that's not how badly they need the players, but how badly the players have the need. In other words, we're going to see a great game today between two universities who gave all their aid to their football players, just like the aid that's given to all other non-athletes.
So these players were actually recruited right out of the student body.
Right out of the student body.
Duffy, what can we look for in this game? Of course, we have two very, very fine teams, or they wouldn't be here. First of all, St. John's is 9-0-1, Towson State is 10-2. They're winning teams, and they are playing for the national championship. What can we expect?
Well, I think we'll see a high-scoring game. Towson State last week against St. Lawrence scored 38 points. Well, St. John's has already broken most of the scoring records for the national championship playoffs that were compiled in 3 games, and they've done it in 2 games. They remind me of the old Minnesota teams that Bud Wilkins used to play on. They run right at you. They might tell you where they're going to go, but then they keep on going. It's a very powerful team, and I think that both teams will score a lot. I look for St. John's to be awfully difficult to contain.
Okay, the players are about ready to come onto the field, and we'll be introducing them to you shortly. Towson State of Maryland will be in gold jerseys with white pants and white helmets. St. John's University will be dressed in red with white numbers, and there you see St. John's coming onto the field right now, getting ready to run on to the field. That is, there's a good crowd on hand here. This is the 4th annual Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, and again, it's being held here at Municipal Stadium in Phoenix City. And here come the Towson State Tigers from Baltimore, Maryland. Running on position in their red and white uniforms. I'm sure, Duffy, that they're a little happy that they're playing here rather than in the cold of Minnesota. There you see how the teams got here. In the quarterfinals, Towson State defeating C.W. Post, which was top-ranked in Division III, and St. John's won over Augustana 46-7. Then in the semifinals last week, Towson State had to hold on. St. Lawrence making a comeback, but they won that one 38-36. And then St. John's really put Buena Vista away 61-0. And a very, very exciting football game for them because of their prolific scoring and their offense. They have an opportunity, St. John's does, to break a number of records in this game today, Duffy. They hold almost every playoff record for Division III playoffs, and they've only played 2 games.
They could break all the existing records in the first quarter of this football game.
They have a very powerful offense, and of course, Towson State will have a very, very good defense to counter that with. They're ranked 5th in the nation in Division III college football defensively, in total defense. It should be a battle between St. John's offense and Towson State's defense.
Well, St. John's has a good defensive unit, too, especially their middle guard is considered the finest middle guard in Division III football.
Of course, the players are going to be the ones that make this game exciting, and we hope that you enjoy it. And if you haven't experienced Division III college football before, I think you're in for a real treat, because these two teams obviously have a great deal at stake. And this is the first time that Towson State has been in postseason play. St. John's is no stranger to postseason action, so perhaps that might be an advantage for St. John's, Duffy, having the experience of playing in a postseason game before.
It certainly could be. And John Gagliardi, the coach of St. John's, is a throwback to the old-type coach. He runs the team completely himself. He doesn't have any assistant coaches up in the press box. He runs everything from the sideline, and I like this kind of thing because, to me, conducting the team was the great thrill of coaching. I never believed in having a lot of coordinators, as some of the teams do now.
Let's meet those players that we hope will make it so exciting for you now as we go down to the field for the player introductions. Here now, the players for St. John's University. At defensive end, number 81 from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Tim Fristrom. At defensive tackle, number 74 from St. Cloud, Minnesota, Joe Wenzel. At linebacker, number 58 from Wadena, Minnesota, Tom Young. Also at linebacker, number 47 from Moose Lake, Minnesota, Mark Griffin. At offensive guard, number 67 from St. Cloud, Minnesota, Dan Dorgan. The center, number 59 from St. Paul, Minnesota, Dave Grovem. At quarterback, number 2 from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, Jeff Norman. And halfback, number 22 from St. Cloud, Minnesota, Jim Roeder. At fullback, number 46 from Waseca, Minnesota, Brad Eustice. Also a fullback, number 44 from Sauk Center, Minnesota, Tim Schmitz. The wingback, number 30 from Cottage Grove, Minnesota, Chris Boyd. The kicker, number 5 from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, Tom Bernardson. And the head coach of St. John's in his 24th season, John Gagliardi. And now for the Tigers of Towson State University. At defensive tackle, number 60 from Baltimore, Maryland, Don Redmond. The middle guard, number 71 from Baltimore, Joe Wagner. At defensive tackle, number 81 from Baltimore, Eldridge Haley. A defensive back, number 25 from Baltimore, John Rawson. Also a defensive back, number 36 from Baltimore, Randy Bielski. Another defensive back, number 46 from Jarrettsville, Maryland, Paul White. A wide receiver, number 21 from Havre de Grace, Minnesota, Mike Bennett. The other wide receiver, number 84 from Silver Spring, Maryland, Ken Snoots. The tight end, number 83 from Dundalk, Maryland, Skip Chase. At quarterback, number 12 from Baltimore, Maryland, Dan DeLay. The tailback, number 34 from Jessup, Maryland, Jeff Herrick. At fullback, number 44 from Baltimore, Ken Doyle. And the head coach of the Towson State Tigers in his 5th season, Phil Albert. And there you meet the players for the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl as St. John's gets ready to take on Towson State in Phoenix City, Alabama. We'll be back in just a minute. Steve Zabriskie along with Duffy Doherty back at Phoenix City, Alabama's Municipal Stadium for the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, the Division III National Championship game between Towson State and St. John's. And there you see the records of both teams. St. John's, 9 wins and 1 tie. Towson State, 10 wins and 2 losses. They're both very happy to be here, and they're certainly happy with the weather. An ideal game, an ideal day for football or anything else for that matter. Temperature is near 50 degrees, and as you can see, I'm sure the sun is shining brightly. A great crowd on hand. St. John's won the toss, and they elected to receive. St. John's will be in red, trimmed in white. Towson State in gold jerseys, also trimmed in white. The Johnnies will be back to receive. Well, Towson State will kick off from left to right. Teeing the ball up, number 5. Number 36, Randy Bielski, will kick off for Towson State. Back deep to receive for St. John's. Number 35, Joe Luby. And number 33, Mark McCullen. Randy Bielski set to kick off. Luby at about the 4-yard line. Nice run back straight up the middle, crosses the 30-yard line to about the 33. Bill Doherty, number 30, makes the tackle along with Ray Scott, number 33 for Towson State. St. John's going on offense, and they do have a very prolific offense. As you look at the Towson State defensive huddle. Jeff Norman, a quarterback, number 2. Tim Schmitz gained over 1,300 yards this year. Number 44 will be at fullback. Brad Eustice, number 46, in the backfield along with him. And Chris Boyd, number 30, is the wingback. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Schmitz straight up the middle, short yardage, gets about to the 35-yard line. The tackle made by number 71, Joe Wagner, the middle guard for the Towson defense, along with number 38, Richard Wheeler, the right side linebacker. Forward progress out to about the 37-yard line. Gain of about 3 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7. St. John's offensive line with Brigham, Glocky, and the others up front. St. John's primarily a rushing team on 2nd down and 7 from their own 37-yard line. Again, straight ahead. Eustice breaks a tackle and gets out across the 45-yard line. Randy Bielski, the defensive secondary, finally makes the tackle for Towson State. Brad Eustice, who is actually starting in place of Jim Roeder, Duffy, who was injured with a knee problem, is doing a good job on his first carry.
He looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, then all of a sudden he burst right through into the secondary and could have gone for a long, long gainer.
It's a first down for St. John's at their own 49-yard line. Just underway in the first quarter. The pitch on the option play, Schmitz into Towson territory, breaks a tackle at the 45 and gets down to about the 44-yard line. Paul White, number 46, the leading tackler for Towson State, along with Joe Kelly, make the tackle in the secondary. And again, a good game for St. John's.
St. John's runs almost the old-fashioned single wing. They have big, powerful backs, and they have that inside belly where they'll give the ball to the fullback or fake it to him and pitch it out to a halfback or to the trailing wingback, just like an old single-wing team, and just as effective.
The gain is 8 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 2 now. St. John's moving at the Towson State 43-yard line. The quick pitch comes to the side of Schmitz. Schmitz crosses the 45 up to the line of scrimmage near the 40-yard line. Joe Wagoner, number 71, slides over to make the tackle along with number 38, Richard Wheeler. Close to first down yardage. We'll see where they spot the ball. It is another first down for St. John's. It is just short of the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Johnnies from that point.
Last week's game, St. John's against Buena Vista made 31 first downs. The head linesman got a big workout moving those chains up and down the field.
They have that grounded out offense, and they're doing it so far. 1st and 10 from the Towson State 40-yard line. Norman wants to pass. Under pressure, dumps it off. It's too low. Intended for Schmitz. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. That's the first pass of the ball game, Duffy. They really don't throw that much.
Well, every time you attempt to put that ball in the air, there are about 5 things that can happen, and 4 of them are bad. That's one of the bad things that can happen. The only good thing is to have you complete it.
We're just underway in the first quarter. 12 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl from Phoenix City, Alabama, and the National Championship of Division III NCAA football here on ABC. 2nd down and 10, St. John's from the Towson State 40-yard line. Jeff Norman, the quarterback, with Schmitz and Eustice behind him in the backfield. Chris Boyd, the wingback in motion. Handoff is to the first man through Eustice. Eustice crosses the 35-yard line down to about the 33. Making the tackle in the secondary, Paul White, number 46.
Eustice is listed at about 215 pounds, but he has to weigh at least 230. He's a big, strong runner. Got great balance.
He's been doing most of the work for St. John's so far. The Johnnies are averaging 465 yards of total offense. However, Towson State has only given up 225 yards per game defensively. 3rd down and 3. I don't believe he made it. Number 66, Don Gibson, and number 60, Don Redmond, stopping right at the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark the ball, Duffy.
I believe it's about a long yard short, but I'm not sure of anything, but I believe that St. John's will go for the first down. They will not try a field goal. Even though Norman's a fine field goal kicker, they will go for the first down. They have great confidence in their running game.
And that's a good point. We might mention the quarterback, number 2, Jeff Norman, is also the extra point and field goal kicker for St. John's. All right, they're going for it on 4th down and 1 from the Towson 32-yard line. Norman on a keeper. He got the first down. He's in open territory. He's going to score. The 10 all the way. Jeff Norman on a great call from the 32-yard line. But it's the first touchdown of the game. And St. John's goes out in front 6-0 with just 11:25 left to play in the first quarter. Just underway on a 32-yard run.
Oh, what a great play. He faked to both Schmitz and to Eustice. Here's the play. He fakes to both Eustice and Schmitz, keeps the ball himself, completely full. Towson State goes 30 yards. Fine run, well executed by the quarterback, Jeff Norman. I can see why they let him call the play.
Norman will also attempt the extra point now. And it is good. A 66-yard scoring drive in 8 plays in only 3 minutes, 35 seconds. We'll be back with more NCAA college football from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl right after this message. Tom Bernardson set to kick off for St. John's as the Johnnies have taken a 7-0 lead on their opening drive. Number 5, Wardle McCall is back deep to receive for Towson State, standing at his own 6-yard line. Bernardson with a spiral kickoff short about the 15-20-yard line. McCall picks it up at the 12, trying to find some room out near the 20, breaks the tackle at the 15. Out to the 25-yard line. Wardle McCall on a great return. On a short kickoff by Bernardson. Take a look now at the offensive line, or offensive backfield, rather. Dan Goulet is the quarterback for Towson State. Goulet, a fine passer, good man on total offense, running well as well. Also in the backfield, Ken Doyle, number 44, will be the fullback. Number 42, Mike Maloney, is the tailback. And one of the wide receivers, Mike Bennett, number 21. The other wide receiver, Skip Chase, number 83, the tight end. On the 1st and 10 play, Ken Doyle, the fullback, carries out near the 30-yard line. Number 35, Joe Luby, and number 34, Mark Hall, make the tackle for St. John's. The gain is 5 yards out to the 30-yard line. It'll be second down, 5 yards to go for Towson State. There you see the offensive line for the Tigers. Towson State averaging 225 yards of total offense per game, and they've scored 25.5 points per game, so they have a pretty good offense of their own. Second down and 5. Maloney, nowhere. Pushed back at the line of scrimmage. Number 88, Tom Toss, the defensive end on the left side, was the first St. John's player to get to him. They mark it right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be third down and 5.
This defensive line of St. John's has great agility, great pursuit. They moved laterally along that line, and there are 3 red shirts in on the tackle.
10 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. St. John's has taken a 7-0 lead as you look at the Johnnies defensive backfield. Third and 5. Delay to pass. It's overthrown over everybody's head. Incomplete. It'll be fourth down and 5, and Towson State will have to take it away on their first offensive possession.
That pass was well covered. Delay had plenty of time. He was trying to throw the ball to Mike Bennett, one of his wide receivers, but naturally St. John's was playing in a loose secondary defense, looking for the pass.
Towson State to punt. Jeff Herrick, number 34, back to do the kicking. Herrick has a pulled leg muscle in his kicking leg, by the way, but he gets off a pretty good kick. Joe Luby up to take it at the 41. He's hit immediately. At the 41-yard line, Luby was dropped after a 29-yard punt. And Herrick is averaging 29.5 yards per punt.
Luby didn't show much discretion there, Joe. Sometimes discretion's a better part of valor. He caught that ball right in the crowd, but fortunately for St. John's, he hung on to the ball.
Good field position for the Johnnies, too, as it is at the 41-yard line, their own 41, where they have a first and 10. Their second offensive possession. Jeff Norman, the quarterback. Dennett, Schmitz, and Eustice in the backfield. The wingback, Chris Boyd, on a sweep. Can't find any running room. Trying to wait for his blockers, and Boyd is hit almost right at the line of scrimmage, perhaps gained a yard. Joe Wagner, the middle guard, number 71, and number 38, Richard Wheeler, make the tackle. 25 years ago, most high schools sponsored 2 or 3 sports for boys. Today, the average school sponsors 8 or 10 sports for each sex. Interscholastic athletics are a positive influence on the lives of over 5 million participants each year. The National Federation of State High School Associations urges your support of these expanding high school athletic programs. Gain of a yard on the play. Second down and 9 now from the 42-yard line of St. John's. The fullback, Schmitz, straight ahead, crosses the 45 to about the 46-yard line. Eldridge Haley, number 81, one of the top defenders for Towson State, along with Joe Wagner, number 71, make the tackle.
This St. John's offense is a very unspectacular offense from the standpoint of spectacular plays, wide open. It's a tight formation, but they unpile and they've gained 5 yards or 6 yards or 8 yards.
Offensive line has been doing a good job so far. They've moved the ball consistently on their first drive to lead 7-0. Norman fights off a tackler, still looking to throw. Dumps it off, incomplete. Intended for Chris Boyd, number 30, the wingback. Defending on the play, number 24, Rick Simmons. It's incomplete, and it will now bring up a 4th down and 5 situation for St. John's. Here you look at Chris Boyd. Boyd, incidentally, injured his knee slightly yesterday. Duffy, in practice, he ran into a chain link fence around the field, and we have yet to see if that will have any effect on his playing ability today. Frank Foster back to punt, number 4. Foster with a nice high kick hanging up there. Towson State lets it hit on the 24-yard line, and it is down right there Number 56, Jim Countryman, the offensive center, mounting the ball. And we'll be back with more NCAA college football from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl right after this message. Steve Zabriskie along with Duffy Doherty back at Phoenix City, Alabama for the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl is in the first quarter with St. John's leading Towson State 7-0. A sellout crowd on hand. It's band day, it looks like, Duffy. We got every high school band in the country here, too. They'll be performing at halftime for you. A great day for football, a great crowd on hand at Towson State going on offense on their second offensive possession. 1st and 10 from their own 23-yard line. Bennett carries out to about the 25, 28, close to the 30-yard line, actually. They'll mark it at about the 29-yard line. Tim Fistrom, number 81, and number 58, Tom Young, on the tackle as you look at John Gagliardi. With only 58 losses in 24 years, Duffy, that's quite a coaching record.
That's right. If you're going to make yardage against this fine St. John's team, you're going to have quick hitting plays like that last week. You have to get there in a hurry because they have great lateral pursuit.
Good pickup on the play of about 7 yards. It's 2nd down and 3 now. Dulé looking to pass, incomplete. Intended for his big tight end, Skip Chase, the 240-pounder. Mark Hall, number 34, defending on the play for St. John's. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 from the 30-yard line, Towson State's own 30-yard line.
Towson State better put some points on the board because I have the feeling that St. John's is going to score a lot.
Well, they certainly have done that in the past. St. John's offense averaging a whopping 44.7 points per game. The Tigers are on offense now, however, and they have a big play here on 3rd down and 3. Again, Dulé to throw it again. Hits Chase. This time it's complete. Chase breaks the tackle. Fumble. The ball is loose at the 42-yard line, covered by St. John's. The Johnnies come up with a break. And the ball is picked up by number 43 of St. John, Greg Wilkerson. Skip Chase made a nice reception, Duffy, but he couldn't hold it.
That was the first break of the ball game. It was a look-in pattern. Skip Chase caught the ball, a very fine catch. He broke 1 or 2 tackles, then had the ball dislodged from his grasp, and unfortunately they lost possession to St. John's.
St. John's going back on offense. 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line after the fumble by Chase. The fake on the reverse to Boyd. Norman to pass complete to Rockers. Rockers out of bounds in Towson State territory at the 36-yard line. Run out of bounds by number 25, John Rawson in the defensive secondary. A 23-yard pass play from Jeff Norman to Dave Rockers. Here it is, Duffy.
Let's take a look. He fakes to the wing back. It's a counter pass. Hits his wide receiver. Number 13, Dave Rocker. A fine catch. A 1st down for St. John's.
St. John's continuing to show good offensive strength as they have a 1st and 10 at Towson State's 36-yard line. Again, it's Norman. Norman still has it. Now he wants to pitch, but he can't. Boyd does a nice job of picking the ball up, and he's bumped out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Over to cover Randy Bilski, number 36 in the secondary. And that was almost another turnover, Duffy. Maybe it was unwise for him to pitch the ball at that point.
It certainly was. There was no home opening for the wingback, Boyd, because the Townsend defense strung out the quarterback. They invited Norman to keep the ball. And they had his pitch man covered as well.
They did pick up a little more than a yard, however. The ball just across the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Boyd on the wingback counter play. Breaks a tackle, gets across the 30-yard line. Down to about the 29. Joe Wagner, number 71, and number 66, Don Gibson, the linebacker on the left side, make the tackle.
I believe that Boyd got injured on that last play. He was the youngster at number 30. Chris Boyd was injured yesterday, ran into a bench on the practice field. This is like having a player fall out of bed the night before the game. It's one of those unfortunate things that happen. It's bad enough to lose him in a scrimmage. And incidentally, John Gagliardi never scrimmages his team. He doesn't believe in a lot of contact work during practice. He figures they get enough contact work during the game.
Well, Chris Boyd got some contact there. He did bump that knee in practice yesterday, and apparently he has injured it again. And that might be a big loss for St. John's.
I think it's his back this time. He's bending over, and it looks like the doctor's taking a look at him now. It looks like he either has a little crimp in his back, or maybe it's just a cramp. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
What you were mentioning, Duffy, about John Gagliardi not scrimmaging his players. There you see John right there conferring with the official. He's in his 24th season at St. John's. Not scrimmaging the players up there, too, it might have something to do with those cold Minnesota days. I would imagine that the bones can be a little brittle when it's around 0 all the time and you're trying to hit people.
You talk like that fellow said the coldest winter he ever spent was the summer in Duluth. Minnesota climate isn't really that bad. To my friends up in Minnesota, it's a beautiful climate. That's a dry cold up there.
We want to remind you that later today at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and 4 Central, Wide World of Sports returns to ABC, and you'll see the World Professional Skiing Championships from Steamboat Springs in Vail, Colorado. Henri Duvillard, one of France's greatest skiers, tries to maintain his incredible dominance in the world of pro skiing. Also on Wide World of Sports today, the Arizona 150 Indianapolis car race from Phoenix. That's Phoenix, Arizona, not Phoenix City, Alabama. Indy 500 winner Johnny Rutherford tries to hang on to his slim lead in the USAC standings over Gordon Johncock in the final race today of the USAC season. Racing on Wide World of Sports later today. Ski racing and auto racing at 5 Eastern, 4 Central over most of these ABC stations. Back to play as they have helped Chris Boyd off the field. It is 3rd down and 4 for St. John's. They're moving from the 29-yard line of Towson State. Schmitz still trying to gain some yardage. Schmitz, a hard man to bring down. Finally tackled by Joe Wagner, number 71, who's been doing yeoman work along with Don Gibson, number 66. But I'll tell you something about Schmitz. He's gained 1,322 yards, Duffy, and a lot of it just like that.
Now we see that St. John's has the same situation where Norman went for a touchdown just a couple of minutes ago. 4th and 1 on about the 27-yard line. We'll see if he comes up with the same play. It was an inside belly where he kept the ball, faked it to Schmitz and kept it himself.
4th down and 1 yard to go. The ball at the 32-yard line of Towson State. Straight up the middle, Schmitz. They go for the first down. He's close to it. Getting close to the 25-yard line. And I believe he did get enough for the first down, huh?
I believe he did. He picked up 2 yards. He only needed 1.
This program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Now let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
WJZ-TV Channel 13, Baltimore.
First down and 10 from the 25-yard line of Towson State. Again, the belly play. The second man through. Down inside the 15-yard line. Tackled by number 24, Rick Simmons, deep in the secondary. And again, it's Schmitz, who is having an outstanding afternoon.
Well, up to that play, he had gained 22 yards and 7 yards. Let's take a look at it now. Second man through, gets the ball from Norman. Here comes Tim Schmitz. He's well on his way to making that 1,300 and some yards, 1,400 yards.
First and 10 for St. John's. They have the ball at the Towson State 13-yard line. They lead 7-0 here in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, first quarter. Again to fake. Norman rolling, looking to pass. Pressures on, he's sacked around the 26-yard line. Number 38, Richard Wheeler. And number 48, Joe Kelly, breaking through to drop him for a loss.
Well, if Jeff Norman keeps attempting to throw that ball, they may be able to hold the score down, because so far they've been unstoppable on the ground, but except for one completion, their passing game has gone awry.
It was a 13-yard loss back to the 26-yard line. It is now second down and 23 yards to go for St. John's. Johnnies with 9 wins and 1 tie. They played a tie, a 15-15 tie, their first game this season. They've won 9 straight, including 2 playoff wins to get here to the national championship game. Straight up the middle goes Eustice. Brad Eustice at the 20, the 15-yard line, the 10, and finally driven out of bounds. Schmitz it is. Randy Bielski, number 36, number 48, Joe Kelly in the secondary, finally getting to him.
Here we have, it's a draw play. Norman drops straight back, gives the ball to Tim Schmitz, number 44. He gets a good block on the outside from his wide receiver, breaks to the outside. He's an awfully hard runner with very good speed. Once again, St. John threatened.
They make up a lot of that 23 yards real quick. It's now 3rd down and 6. The ball at the 8-yard line of Towson State. Now Norman wants to throw again. Over the middle, into the end zone, intercepted by Randy Bielski. And Bielski gets it out to about the 13 or 14-yard line. Mike Grant, number 83, the tight end, made the tackle for St. John's. Mike Grant, incidentally, is the son of Minnesota Viking coach Bud Grant.
Let's take a look at Norman's pass is picked off by Bilski. Had he known he was in the end zone, he could have stopped there. Would have been a touchback. He attempts to run it out. It's difficult for a defensive back to always know his position on the field.
He gets it out to about the 12-yard line, however. We'll be back with more first quarter action and NCAA college football in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl in just a moment. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back in Phoenix City, Alabama. Towson State going on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line after Randy Bielski's interception of a Jeff Norman pass in the end zone. Towson State trailing St. John's 7-0 here in the first quarter of the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. Dulé intercepted. And number 21, Terry Garrity of St. John's, and we have back-to-back turnover interceptions at the 27 or 8-yard line. St. John's will go back on offense. Duffy.
Here's Dan DeLay throwing. It's picked off in the secondary in a sitting position. The ball is dead in college football when one knee touches the ground. Cannot get up and run. Terry Garrity, number 21, puts St. John's back in enviable field position.
They mark it at the 27.5-yard line, and the Johnnies have enjoyed good field position this entire game. Towson State had one play in which they broke into St. John's territory, but they fumbled the ball away, and that's been their only threat so far.
Tim Schmitz has gained 50 yards and only 9 carries, so that shows how effective the running game has been.
He's been a big workhorse for St. John's so far. Brad Eustice, the fullback, straight ahead, close to the 25-yard line. 77, Gabe Morrow, the right side defensive tackle, makes the play for Towson State.
When you give a team like St. John's with such a strong running game 4 downs, they're in 4-down territory now. When you have 4 downs to make 10 yards, it's almost impossible to stop them from making 10 yards. They only have to average 2.5 yards per carry.
The gain is 2 yards on the play. It is now 2nd down and 8 yards to go. The ball at the 26-yard line of Towson State. Straight ahead, Schmitz fumbles the football. Oh, Norman. They faked me out that time.
Well, they read this goalie. Norman never knows until after the snap of the ball whether he's going to give the ball to the fullback, to Schmidt, or whether he's going to keep it or give it to Eustice, the second man through. He makes all these determinations after the snap of the ball. It takes a good quarterback, a very intelligent young man with good mental and physical reflexes to accomplish this.
He did it that time. He put the ball right into Schmidt's belly and faked me right on. I thought Schmitz had the ball. Short gain of about a yard on the play, maybe a half a yard. It's still about 3rd down and 8. However, the ball's just short of the 25-yard line. Norman trips over his own man and falls down at the line of scrimmage. The left side guard, number 67, Dan Dorgan, was trying to pull on the play, and Norman tripped over his leg.
We may see the first field goal attempt of the game now. At 4th down coming up. 4th down, about 9 yards to go, down on the 26-yard line. I believe the holders coming in will. I'm sure Jeff Norman will attempt a field goal, but there is a timeout in the field right now.
St. John's trying apparently to decide what they want to do. And that's the first time, Duffy, on 3rd down that they have not thrown the football and decided to run for it there. Other than the 4th and 1 play on which Jeff Norman scored.
Well, Towson State has done a fine job now. They've had their backs to the wall now, and this is the 4th different occasion, and they've only given up 1 score.
We want to remind you that this is not the only game that you'll see on NCAA today. Later tonight, Texas and Arkansas from Austin, Texas at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 Central, over most of these ABC stations. The Longhorns of Texas and the Arkansas Razorbacks, a perennial great game in the Southwest Conference, Duffy.
And 2 of the all-time great coaches, Frank Broyles of Arkansas and Darrell Roll of Texas, who are in the twilights of just fabulous careers. There are a lot of rumors that this may be their final game as coaches. I don't know. I'd hate to see them give up football, but I found out myself that there are a lot of things in life that are more important than winning or losing a football game, although when I was coaching, I didn't believe it.
All right, we will have a field goal attempt. This quarterback, Jeff Norman, number 2, gets ready to attempt one. They'll mark it at the 32-yard line, so it'll be a 42-yard attempt. Scott Becker holding it blocked. Blocked by number 38, Richard Wheeler.
I noticed something on that play. St. John's only had 10 men on the field. They did not have a wingback to the right. They only have 10 men on the field on that play. Now, you're allowed to have 10. You can't have 12, but it's a lot better to have 12 than only have 10.
Towson State going back on offense after the blocked field goal attempt. St. John's still leading 7-0. Just 2:44 left to go in the first quarter. Towson State with a 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. High formation in the backfield with Doyle and Maloney behind Dulé. No gain. Mike Alex Maloney, number 42, carries, and Mark Griffin, number 47, linebacker for St. John's, makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage, perhaps gained a half a yard. We'll call it 2nd down and 10 again from the 40-yard line.
Your special teams automatically go on the field, and I'm sure that the young man, now you see over to the right, there's no wing back. There's supposed to be a wing back over there. That's where they can do to block the kick. You'll hear from John Gagliardi about that.
2nd down and 10 for Towson State, moving from their own 40-yard line. Uleda pass, intercepted, intended for Chase. Picked off by Tom Koss, number 88. Koss returns to the 34-yard line of Towson State. Run out of bounds by Dean Prudo, number 64, the offensive tackle. And another turnover, Duffy. And again, St. John's enjoys great field position and is really in control of the football game, although they're only leading 7-0. Here it is again.
Here's Dan DeLay throwing. This is the defensive left end dropping back. He's tall, big, and Tom Koss, number 88, picks it off, runs it back now to about the 34-yard line.
Fine defensive play and another break for St. John's as they have the 1st and 10 from the Towson State 34-yard line. 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. The Johnnies lead 7-0 over the Tigers of Towson State. They're playing for the Division III NCAA National Championship. Handoff is to 44 Schmitz, and he's tackled by number 60 Don Redmond right at the line of scrimmage. Falls ahead for perhaps a yard. Also in on the play, number 77 defensive tackle Gabe Morrow.
The more success that the Towson State defensive team has in containing this fine offensive St. John's team, the more confidence they're going to gain as the game progresses, and then they have to get their offense on track. Turnovers are exciting for the fans, but they're the bane of all coaches.
Towson State has had a fumble and an interception. St. John's threw an interception in the end zone on their last possession. It's 2nd down and 9 from the 33-yard line. Norman on the option play, pitches back. Jim Roeder, number 22, crosses the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Don Gibson, number 66, along with number 24, Rick Simmons in the secondary for Towson State, make the tackle.
That's Jim Roeder's first appearance in the ball game. He's been injured, and it was questionable how much he would play today, but he ran very well on that particular play. It was an option, a pitch out to the right. Jim Roeder, number 22, a fine running back.
He's gained 600 yards, Tuffy, on the year with a 5-point average per carry. But he has a slight knee problem, and we didn't know how much of Roeder we'd see today. 3rd down and 2 now from the 26-yard line of Towson State. Straight at the middle goes Schmitz again. He's close to the 25-yard line. Not enough for the 1st down, however. Joe Wagner, number 71, and number 66, Don Gibson, make the tackle.
This will be the 3rd time in the ball game so far to date that St. John's has come up with a 4th and 1 situation. This time it's only about a foot. And you might even see a quarterback sneak on this play. The first time they went for a touchdown on an inside belly and a keeper by Norman, the quarterback.
And again, we have the 4th and 1 situation, as Duffy said. As time is running down here in the first quarter, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 4th and 1 from the Towson State 25-yard line. Norman on a sneak. I believe he got enough for the 1st down as he's down close to the 23-yard line. And that is stop the clock with 7 seconds to go, so maybe it isn't the last play of the first quarter. Gabe Morrow, number 77, makes the tackle, and it is enough for the 1st down at the 23-yard line of Towson State. Now they start the clock again, and it runs down to the end of the first quarter. We'll be back with more NCAA college football action from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. With the score, St. John's 7, Towson State nothing. Steve Zabriskie along with Duffy Doherty in Phoenix City, Alabama, where, as you can see, we are ready to start the 2nd quarter with St. John's leading over Towson State 7-0 in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. St. John's has dominated the game with field position and time of possession so far. And they are on offense for the 1st and 10 from the Towson State 23-yard line. Eustice, a fullback, breaks a tackle at the 20 and gets down to about this 18 or 17-yard line of Towson State. And the Johnnies continue to move that ball, Duffy. Number 48, Joe Kelly, made the tackle, but they have really done a great job controlling the football so far.
Well, in the first quarter, they gained 133 yards to only 34 for Towson State, but amazingly had the ball for 12 minutes and 1 second, and Towson State only had it for 2 minutes and 59. Here are the first quarter stats. The amazing thing, the time of possession. And there's an old cliche in football, you cannot score without the ball. St. John's has had it almost all the time.
Towson State gained only 13 yards rushing in the first quarter, and they really need to do better than that. First man through is Schmitz. Schmitz down close to the 10-yard line. They just continue to line up and run right at you. Paul White, number 46, made the tackle for Towson State. And again, Duffy, you can see the statistics very, very one-sided in the first quarter. And I would think that if it hadn't been for the turnovers, perhaps the score would be by a greater margin than just 7 points at this point.
St. John's has a very well-conceived offense. They run traps, they run counters, they run belly plays, they run sweeps, they do it all.
Second down, or first and goal, rather, from the 10-yard line. A fumble, and Towson State has recovered. Coming up with the ball, number 48, Joe Kelly, on first and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line. Towson State stops another St. John's scoring threat.
I used to coach this play. I used to call it the quadruple-option instead of the triple-option. The quadruple-option. Quarterback could either give the ball to the fullback, pitch it up back to halfback, keep himself, or lay it on the ground. That time Norman laid the ball on the ground, unfortunately for St. John.
John Gagliardi, you see there, an amazing record at St. John's. Not happy about that. On first and 10. Maloney, the ball carrier, gets out across the 15-yard line to close to the 17-yard line. They mark it right at the 16. Number 90, Steve Altman, makes the tackle for St. John's.
Phil's position is so all-important. I'll tell you, it's not a very good feeling for an offensive team to get the ball about their own 15-yard line and look down 85 yards down that long field where they have to go to score a touchdown.
Maloney comes out, and through the backfield is Tom Jones, number 23, replacing him in tailback. It's Jones with the football on a pitch sweep to the right. Jones with great speed at the 25, the 30. Ball down from behind in the secondary, close to the 40-yard line. The tackle made by number 94, Ernie England, who slid out to the far side. A 17-yard run for Tom Jones on his first possession, or rather first carry of the afternoon.
It's a pitch sweep to Tom Jones. He's got excellent speed. He breaks a tackle on the line. However, there's a flag on the play, and this fine run by Jones is going to be called back.
Ernie England slid over to make the tackle at middle guard, showing great speed in pursuit because Jones has super speed. As you can see there, averaging almost 5 yards a carry, but the illegal procedure penalty against Towson State nullifies that great 17-yard run by Jones and moves the ball back to the 11-yard line. It'll be second down and 11 now. Towson State missing out on another opportunity there as they had the ball all the way out to their 40-yard line. St. John's leads 7-0. We're in the second quarter. Too late a pass. Incomplete, intended for Jones as he had pressure on him. And Jones may be hurt. Jones was hit, as you can see there, immediately upon trying to receive the ball, and he is really favoring his left knee. Jones had just come into the game a couple of plays ago to replace Mike Maloney. He is in some pain, Duffy. I hope that he is not too severely injured.
Well, Tim Friston, number 81, St. John, the defensive linebacker, he was there at the same time as the receiver, Jones, and he came up with a very fine defensive play. It was a very good play. He hit him just right after the ball got there, so there was no question about whether it was pass interference or not. It was a fine defensive play.
We'll take this opportunity to remind you that next Saturday on NCAA football, the national championships of Division II will be on the line in the Pioneer Bowl from Wichita Falls, Texas. Today, the semifinal games are being played, and the winners of those two games, the Newt Rockby Bowl and the Grantland Rice Bowl, will meet for the Division II national championship. In what was last year known as the Camellia Bowl, Northern Michigan defeated Western Kentucky in a come-from-behind game. The Pioneer Bowl for a Division II national championship next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 Central, over most of these ABC stations.
Dan DeLay, the fine quarterback from Towson State, has attempted 6 passes. He's completed 1 for 21 yards, and he's thrown 2 interceptions. And I think that these interceptions have hurt them.
There you see Tom Jones being helped off the field. Apparently it is an injury to his knee, unfortunately. And Dulé is a better passer than that, and I would have to think that he's going to have to get it cranked up to get Towson State's offense moving here. Third down, 11 yards to go from Towson State's own 11-yard line. And again, Dulé to throw. Trying to set up the screen. He can't find anybody open. Getting away from the pressure. Now near the 15-yard line and finally run out of bounds. He ran a long way for only a 4-yard gain. Ran nearly all over the field before finally being run out of bounds. Terry Garrity, number 21, one of the St. John's defenders over there to bump him out. Dan Dulé not having a good afternoon, not being able to do the thing that he can do best, and that's throw the football.
Well, when you have 3rd and 12, everybody in the stadium, including the defensive team, knows that you're going to try to put the ball in the air.
Jeff Herrick has come on to punt for Towson State. He'll get it from his own 5, nearly blocked. It may have been touched. But he sure got a nice roll out of it. It's all the way out to midfield. Joe Lubing, who was back deep to receive, can't do anything about it. And Towson State has it almost a 40-yard kick. We'll be back with more NCAA college football action from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl after this message. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back with you in the second quarter with St. John's leading Towson State 7-0. And Duffy, that ball was tipped or touched when it was punted, but yet it was not a live ball. What's the ruling on that if it's hit behind the line?
In college football, if a punt is partially blocked, if it goes past the line of scrimmage, it is not a free block. It belongs to the receiving team. St. John's played it very intelligently.
They treated it just as if it had not been touched at all. 1st and 10 for St. John's from the 49-yard line of Towson State. Eustice straight ahead, close to the 45-yard line. Eldridge Haley, 6'3", 245-pound senior defensive tackle. And Gabe Morrow, his counterpart on the other side of the line, made the tackle. Eldridge Haley, number 81 for Towson State, has got to be a great pro prospect, Duffy, wouldn't you think?
Oh,
6'3" and 245.
He's got size and agility and everything you want in a football player.
Playing with a slight knee injury, however. Gain of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 7. Norman to pass. Long pass intended for Roeder, incomplete. Roeder streaking down the near sideline. The ball was just overthrown. Back defending on the play, Rick Simmons, number 24.
That ball didn't miss being a completion by more than an inch. It's just off the fingertips of Jim Roeder, and he's a fine receiver.
Incomplete, however, brings up a 3rd down. 3rd down and 7 yards to go. St. John's moving from the Towson State 46-yard line here in the second quarter, leading 7-0. Norman 1 of 5 for 23 yards. Passing so far this afternoon. He's going to try it again. Pressure's on him. Gets it off to Schmitz. Schmitz is safety valve on a center screen. Schmitz breaks a tackle at the 30, going to the 15. Touchdown! Great run by Tim Schmitz, who broke 2 or 3 tackles around the 25 and 30-yard line to take it in for a St. John's touchdown. 2 big plays by the Johnnies have made their touchdowns this afternoon.
Tim Schmitz was not intended to be the receiver. He was sort of a safety valve. He was blocking for Norman. Let's take a look at it. Norman has to scramble. His protection breaks down. Schmitz is in blocking. Finally, there he is. He comes back over the middle. Safety valve pass. Watch him turn on the speed. He has quick feet. Watch him turn on the speed and go all the way. 49 yards and 3 plays. That drive only took a minute and 7 seconds.
Norman adds the extra point, and St. John's adds their lead with another 7 points. We have 11 minutes, 26 seconds left to play in the second quarter, and we'll be back with more NCAA college football action from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl after this message. Let's take another look at the touchdown play, Duffy.
Here it is. It was a broken play. It was intended to be a screen pass to the right, but the protection broke down. Norman had to scramble, and Schmitz very intelligently moved to the inside, took the broken play pass from Norman, the quarterback, and then legged it all the way for a touchdown, the second score of the game for St. John.
Ready to kick off. Tom Bernardson, number 5, will kick it off for St. John's, and his opposite number 5 for Towson State, Wardle McCall, is back deep to receive for the Tigers of Towson State. Line drive shot coming to the right side. Rick Simmons takes it at the 14-yard line. Simmons straight at the side, at the 40-yard line, out there the 45 on a great return. Rick Simmons, a 6-foot, 170-pound freshman, a 30-yard kickoff return to the 44-yard line. This is the 4th season that Division II and III member institutions have competed for the National Collegiate Football Championship. The NCAA also sponsors the 11 other Division II and 9 additional Division III championships each year, and 6 other events are open to the association's entire membership. 1st and 10, Towson State from their own 44-yard line. I formation in the backfield. Tailback Maloney fumbles. Recovered by St. John's at the 50-yard line. And again, Towson State turns the ball over. Coming up with the ball, number 8-9 97, Gary Stang. The defensive tackle on the left side, a 6'4", 220-pound sophomore. Towson State has not had the ball very often, Duffy. When they get it, they've turned it right back over to St. John's.
That's about 4 turnovers now, a couple interceptions, a couple of fumbles. Coach Bill Albert has a fine team, and they execute a couple of plays, and then they'll have a mistake. And these things can certainly, they can just ruin your offense. They don't have any continuity.
St. John's leading 14-0, going right back on offense, and again with good field position at midfield. 11 minutes, 13 seconds left to go in the first half. Straight up the middle goes Schmitz. Schmitz down to about the 46-yard line. Don Gibson, number 66, the linebacker, who has 102 tackles coming into this game. And number 38, Richard Wheeler, the other linebacker, make the tackle. There you look at Tim Schmitz, a 200-pound junior who's gained 1,322 yards and averages 7.3 yards per carry coming into this game. He's also scored 15 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns after his touchdown run with that screen pass. Gain of 4, second down and 6. Norman rolling left. Pressure's on him, and he's dropped back around the 39-yard line. Great defensive play by Gabe Morrow, number 77, a 230-pound sophomore defensive tackle. A 15-yard loss on the play, all the way back to the 40-yard line of St. John's. Big play for the Towson State defense.
Norman's such a good runner that it's difficult to throw him for a loss because he scrambles so very well. He almost got away and got the pass off that time, even though there was a big rush, and finally Gabe Morrow finally succeeded in getting him down for a big loss.
Third down and 21 yards to go. And you can see the ball is just short of St. John's own 40-yard line. Third and 21. Straight up the middle again at Schmitz. He goes nowhere. Good defensive penetration by the Towson State defensive line. Number 81, Eldridge Haley, their big defensive tackle, and Joe Kelly, number 48, along with 53, Paul Nelson, two of the linebackers stopping. So it'll be 4th down and 20 now after that short gain of about a yard. Frank Foster averaging 29.5 yards per kick. Number 4 is on the punt for St. John's. Back deep to receive. Number 36, Randy Bielski, and number 24, Rick Simmons. Bielski getting to the outside at the 40 and close to midfield. Great return by Towson State as Bielski goes 29 yards on a 39-yard punt. We'll be back with more NCAA college football action in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl right after this message. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back at Phoenix City, Alabama. And Duffy, although they had a great return, there was a penalty on the play.
It was a clipping penalty, and when you're trying to get into a punt return, you're not allowed to block from behind. You're not allowed to block below the waist, so it can be either one. It could have been clipping or blocking below the waist.
Towson State going back on offense, and they had poor field position again at their own 10-yard line. The Tigers have only 1 first down so far this afternoon. Doyle, the fullback, gets pretty good yardage out to about the 15-yard line. Tough running down in there when you got your back to your own goal line. Doyle picks up about 5 yards to the 15. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Towson State invariably has made 5 yards or 6 yards on the first down or 7 yards. Then they seem to botch it up on the 2nd or 3rd down, either fumble or throw an interception. Let's see if they can move the ball with some consistency.
2nd down and 5. Bennett split to the right, Snoots to the left. Maloney close to a first down out to about the 19-yard line. He's going to be a yard or 2 short, however. The tackle made by number 81, Tim Gristrom, and number 58, Tom Young.
I believe that Towson State's only made about 1 first down. I think it's only 1 first, and that was on a pass play. Now they're faced with a great opportunity here with 3rd and 1 on their own 19.
8 minutes and 5 seconds left to play in the first half. St. John's leading 14-0. 3rd and 1. Towson State at their own 19-yard line. First man through, Doyle, close. Right at the 20-yard line. Yes, he has enough yardage for a first down as he gets across the 20-yard line. That's a 2nd first down for the Tigers of Towson State. And they need a lot more of it to get back in this game. And they'd like nothing more than to take this ball and control it, go 90 yards for a touchdown, and get back to only trailing by 7 points before halftime. St. John's has controlled the football with their powerful rushing offense. And Towson State has hurt themselves so far with some key turnovers. 1st and 10 now from the 20-yard line. Dulé to throw. Complete. It's a 33-yard yard line for 84, Ken Snoots. The tackle made by 43, Greg Wilkinson, the sophomore defensive back.
Ken Snoots, number 84, the leading receiver. He was split out, just a little slant in pass. Let's take a look at it now. Watch Ken Snoots, number 84. Here we have delay throwing a slant in, a little diagonal pattern to Ken Snoots, number 84, for another first down for Towson State.
Their second in a row and their third of the game. Here comes Maloney on a sweep to the left. Maloney gets a couple of yards is all as he gets out to about the 35-yard line. The tackle made by 88, Tom Cost, and number 74, Joe Wenzel, the defensive lineman on the right side who slid off to make the play. There's Mike Maloney, the senior tailback who's scored 9 touchdowns, gained 835 yards, and averaged 4.1 yards per carry. 6.5 minutes to go in the half. St. John's leading 14-0 in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl for the Division III NCAA national title. Dulay looking long down the far sideline for Bennett, incomplete. Mike Bennett has run a straight pattern. Back defending on the play, number 35, Joe Luby, and number 21, Terry Garrity, and it's incomplete. This Monday on NFL Monday Night Football on ABC, we'll have one of the best games of the year on our Monday night schedule for you. The AFC Central Division leading Cincinnati Bengals will be in Oakland to play the team with the best record in football, the Oakland Raiders. Kenny Anderson of the Bengals against Kenny Stabler of the Raiders in a big game for both teams. The Raiders have won 11 of their 12 games so far. The Bengals and the Raiders this Monday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on NFL Monday Night Football over most of these ABC stations. Third down and 8 from the 35-yard line of Towson State. Dulay on a quick pop, intended, maybe intercepted. It is intercepted by St. John's. Number 21, Terry Garrity, was intended for Ken Snoots again on that quick look-in pattern. It went right through Snoots' hands, and Garrity picked it off.
That's the second interception for Terry Garrity, number 21, and both times he intercepted him when he was prone. He was on the ground. Let's take another look at it. Intended for Snoots. Watch Terry Garrity pick it right off the ground, right here. Watch it right there. Just it's a fine catch, about an inch off the ground.
Another turnover and another interception for Towson State. St. John's again with good field position from the Towson State 41-yard line. Eustice in motion, it faked to him. Norman looking to throw, pressure's on him. Dumps it off, intended for Schmitz, but incomplete. Good pressure from 66, Don Gibson, and 71, Joe Wagner in there, also along with 77, Gabe Morrow for Towson State's defensive line.
That incompletion was worth about 15 yards because that's just how much Jeff Norman would have lost if he hadn't been able to get rid of the ball. Towson State's putting a lot of pressure on Jeff on his passing attempts. He's only completed 2 out of 7, good for 69 yards. One was that broken play to Tim Schmitz.
Don't forget it's Texas, Arkansas here on NCAA football tonight at 9, 8 Central Time on ABC. Second down and 10 from the 41-yard line. The reverse. Roeder across the 40 to the 39-yard line. 77, Gabe Morrow, and 81, Eldridge Haley on the tackle for Towson State after a short gain. And that's a little razzle-dazzle, Duffy. That's the first time we've seen him run that reverse.
That's a counter where everything goes one way and the wingback comes back and tries to go up inside.
Roeder pressed into service at wingback in place of number 30, Chris Boyd, who had to go out with perhaps a back injury. We'll try to get some report on his condition for you. Roeder with a knee injury himself. It is third down and 8 yards to go for St. John's. They're moving from the Towson State 39-yard line. Draw play to Schmitz. Schmitz right at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Great tackle now. Number 46, Paul White, the leading tackler for Towson State with 112 tackles coming into this game. Don Gibson, number 66, also in on the play.
The start of the game, the first quarter, I thought the way that St. John's was moving the ball up down the field, it was going to be a rout. But I'll tell you, we have to give the Towson State defense a lot of credit. They've stopped them time and time again.
Frank Foster, number 4, is back to punt for St. John's. He hits it from right at midfield. It's not a very long kick, and it goes out of bounds around the 20-yard line. They mark it at about the 18 or 19-yard line. 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to play in the first half. Don't forget that tomorrow ABC Sports College Football 76 will present a special show that will wrap up and summarize the 1976 college football season. You get a close look at every major conference, as well as the Heisman Trophy winner, Tony Dorsett, and the top-ranked Pitt Panthers. So check your local listings for the time in your area for College Football 76 tomorrow over most of these ABC stations. Towson State back on offense from their own 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Dulé straight up the middle, hands off to Maloney. Short yardage on the play. Crosses the 20, maybe gets a couple of yards right to the 20-yard line. Tom Young, number 58, and number 47, Mark Griffin, make the tackle for St. John's. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. As you look at Mike Maloney and his statistics this year, Maloney's carried 8 times for 20 yards so far this afternoon. On 2nd and 8 from the 20, the fake. Dulé under pressure, drop at the 15-yard line. Gary Stang, number 97, breaking through with the pressure, along with Joe Wenzel. And Dulé is having his problems so far. The loss is all the way back to the 15-yard line. That'll make it 3rd down and 14 yards to go.
Steve, I don't know how you and I should qualify as predictors. We both said this is going to be an explosive, high-scoring game. And as of right now, we've had 2 touchdowns. But the defenses of both teams, Towson State and St. John's, have certainly dominated the game today.
It has been exciting for the fans, however, with great defensive plays, some fine offensive plays, and some exciting turnovers as well. On 3rd down and 14, Dulé wants to throw. Over the middle, complete. Bennett, number 21, Mike Bennett, stopped immediately by Greg Wilkerson, number 43. It's not quite enough yardage for the 1st down.
Let's take a look now. Has a lot of poise. He throws. Unfortunately, Mike Bennett didn't quite get first enough down yardage. He's just about 1.5 yards short, so they're going into a punt formation.
On 4th down and about 1 yard to go, Jeff Herrick hits it. No fair catch called for by Luby. That's the 2nd time he's caught one in traffic, and he is dumped immediately at the 42-yard line of St. John's. The Johnnies go back on offense with just 2:57 left to play in the 1st half.
That Joe Luby, number 35, he has the nerve of a bandit, doesn't he? He just doesn't matter to him if they're rushing down to hit him, belt him. He catches the ball in the crowd or any other way.
St. John's going back on offense at their own 42-yard line. They lead 14-0 as we near the end of the 1st half at the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl for the Division III National Championship. Schmitz and Eustice behind Norman in the backfield for St. John's. The wingback, Roeder. Roeder crosses midfield. He's short of midfield, brother. About the 48-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards on the play. Eldridge Haley and number 38, Richard Wheeler, make the tackle for Towson State.
That's that same counter play where everything starts one direction, then the wingback goes back. There was a flag on that play now, personal foul against Towson State, which moves the ball down to their 36-yard line and gives a 1st down to St. John.
Duffy, I think if there's been one key thing there, as we look at Phil Albert, the Towson State coach, there's been one key thing in this game. I would have to say that St. John's has really enjoyed the field position.
That's right. They've had 10 first downs to 3 for Towson State, but they've been aided by turnovers and penalties.
It's a 1st and 10 for St. John's from the Towson State 36-yard line. On the belly series, the 2nd man is Schmitz, and he goes nowhere. Fine defensive play by Don Redmond, number 60, the senior defensive tackle at 6'2", 225, and Joe Kelly, the right side linebacker.
Now, St. John's has set up a pass, I'm sure they have in their repertoire, where they'll fake this counter, they'll fake to the wingback, then the quarterback will roll out and throw a pass from this same counter action. Now, they've made yardage on this counter play. I look for them to run this counter pass sometime very soon.
Tim Schmitz, the leading ball carrier for St. John so far, with 65 yards. Norman on the option play, pitches back to Roeder. No, it isn't Roeder. It's Art Tellman. Art Tellman is in there now. John Rawson, number 25, comes up in the secondary, along with Gabe Morrow, number 77, to make the tackle. Roeder has gone out, and Art Tellman, a sophomore, 5'11", 195-pounder, has come in to replace him at wingback. That's the 3rd wingback we have seen. And now Tellman is going out, and Jeff Norman is going over to talk to his coach.
Time is certainly a factor now, with only 1 minute and 51 seconds to go in the half. And I believe that there's the stats. So far, St. John's has rushed for 150 yards, but they got most of that the first quarter. They're going to have to probably put the ball in the air because they have 30 long yards to go, and they have only 1 minute and 51 seconds in which to do it. And I believe this is their next to last time out.
Again, we remind you that tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time and 8 o'clock Central, here on most of these ABC stations, another fine football game for you as NCAA's coverage on ABC continues with the Texas-Arkansas game. Darrell Royal and Frank Broyles in their classic matchup, every year a great game, regardless of the records. A great Southwest Conference rivalry between the Hogs, the Razorbacks of Arkansas, and the Steers, the Longhorns of Texas. Tonight at 9, 8 Central Time, here on ABC. 1 minute, 51 seconds left to go in the half. It is 3rd down and 4 for St. John's as they are at the Towson State 30-yard line. Eustice, the fullback, power play straight ahead to the 25-yard line. Nothing fancy about that. That harkens back, Duffy, to 1935 and the old single wing.
You're talking about the days when I played. I played in 37, 38. They still talk about me. They said that Duffy wasn't very big, but he sure was slow.
Well, I had a similar problem. I was a lot bigger, but I was also kind of slow. It is enough yardage for the first down, but there appears to be a penalty on the play against St. John's as they mark off 5 yards back to the 35-yard line. Illegal procedure against the Johnnies. With 1 minute 47 left to go in the half, nullifies what would have been a first down and makes it 3rd down and 9 yards to go from the 35-yard line of Towson State. This time, Eustice is on the wing, and Roeder and Schmitz are in the backfield behind Norman. Schmitz straight ahead across the 35, very short yardage to about the 34-yard line. Again, Don Redmond, who's been playing an outstanding defensive game for Towson State, and Eldridge Haley, their big defensive tackle, make the play.
With 1 minute and 19 seconds to go, I believe that Norman's going to try to retain possession of the ball. They got 4th and 8.
Ball at the 34-yard line of Towson State. On 4th down now. Roeder is in the slot to the right. Norman to throw. Over the middle and incomplete, and there might have been a mix-up in the pass route as he overthrew Mike Grant, the intended receiver. 25, John Rawson back defending, and Towson State will take over on downs. He appeared to throw that ball right between Roeder, as we can see Roeder going off the field right now, and Grant, who was crossing.
Well, it wasn't a well-thrown pass. If it was intended for Grant, it was too short. If it was intended for Roeder, it was too long, rather, or vice versa.
1st and 10, Towson State. They have the ball at their own 34-yard line with just 1 minute left to go here in the half. You lay the pass, as you might expect. Pressure's on again. He fumbles the football. We'll see who got it at the 22-yard line. Towson State really plagued with turnover problems as they have hurt themselves by mistakes and turnovers. Ken Doyle, number 44, recovered for Towson State. They retain possession, but they lose yardage back to the 22-yard line. Just 35 seconds, the clock continuing to run, remaining here in the first half.
St. John's, they're in a prevent defense now, and the safety man is back about 25 yards. Another defensive back 20 yards. They're going to try to prevent that long ball.
Dan Toulet, the Towson State quarterback. 18 seconds now. Gain of about 2 yards on the play is all. Kenny Doyle, the 5'9", 185-pound senior, stopped by Mark Griffin, along with Tom Fristrom, number 81, for St. John's. The clock counting down now. It is stopped. Now it runs down to no time left on the clock. And that is the end of the first half of the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl here in Phoenix City, Alabama. We'll be back. It's a little bit more even. There you can see the yards rushing is one of the big factors in the game. 152-19. St. John's having the big edge. In passing, pretty even, 69-43. And the total yards, as we mentioned, 221-62. First downs, 10 for St. John's, only 3 for Towson State. Offensive plays, close to double. And the ball control time, of course, the turnover is the big factor, with Towson State committing 4, and most of those very, very costly turnovers that gave St. John's excellent field position almost every time, allowing the Johnnies to control the football game and operate in good field position, do the things they need to do. As halftime activities continue here at Phoenix City, we just took a look at the St. John's campus. Now let's take a look at the Towson State University campus in Maryland. Towson State University, the oldest and largest of Maryland's public institutions, traces its history back to 1865. Towson's program rests fundamentally on the idea that liberal education is indispensable for a free society. Ideally situated on the campus of over 324 beautifully rolling wooded acres, a mile and 1/2 beyond the northern border of the city of Baltimore, Towson State offers a broad range of bachelor's and master's degree programs and other diversified programs such as college and escrow, which allows exceptional high school students to earn credits in escrow prior to entering college, a second bachelor's degree program, and an independent study program. During the last 7 years, under the dynamic leadership of its president, James L. Fisher, the university has experienced dramatic change and unprecedented growth. Second largest in Maryland, the university's 1975 enrollment was approximately 14,500. In addition, over 6,700 students are employed for summer sessions. Towson State University in Towson, Maryland, near Baltimore. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty at halftime. Duffy?
I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Fisher before the game, and he's going to be mistaken for the president-elect Jimmy Carter. They could be twin brothers, they look like. In fact, Dr. Fisher's a young version of President-elect Carter.
Duffy, looking at the first half statistics, obviously St. John's has the edge. They have committed fewer turnovers. They have more first downs. They have considerably more yardage and everything. What do you think Towson State needs to do other than eliminating mistakes to get back into this game in the second half?
Well, it's important that they score early in the third quarter and regain some confidence in their offense, which has been good all year. Any team that can score 38 points against St. Lawrence, as they did last week, has to have a good offense. They have stopped their offense when they've had some opportunities with interceptions and fumbles and poor ball handling. A lot of this can be attributed, though, to the great spirited defensive play of St. John's. I'm very much impressed with the caliber of this Division III football. They have excellent football players, just as Coach Dooley said. They're active, they're agile, they're strong, and they play with enthusiasm, and it's real great football, and I'm just pleased to be a part of this game. I think we're going to have a great second half.
We'll be back with second half action for you as the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl continues. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back, getting ready for the second half with St. John's leading Towson State. And Duffy, St. John's football team got a little encouragement from a well-known personality today.
Here's a wire Coach John Gagliardi received. It says, "Dear John, I want to wish you and all the members of the St. John's team the very best as you compete in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. The healthy attitude toward athletics and the winning tradition which you have sustained at Collegeville have been a source of pride to all Minnesotans over the years, and our thoughts will be with you as you take the field on Saturday. Good luck, Fritz Mondale." He's our Vice President-elect.
Here's St. John's out on the campus. They're running out onto the field right now. Here's the look once again at the touchdown play, the pass from Norman to Schmitz. This great running, Duffy.
It was this play that convinced me of the speed and the strength and agility of Schmitz. I didn't realize he was that fast.
We mentioned in the second quarter when Chris Boyd, number 30, the St. John's wingback, went out that he did have some form of injury. We have now been informed that he has a deep bruise low on his back on the left side, and he probably will not be back to play. Roeder will play for him, and Roeder has a knee injury himself. So could be that St. John's a little weak at wingback right now, Duffy.
I think the fans are happy to know at St. John's that the injury is not serious. Right now it's painful, but it's just a deep bruise, and they don't suspect that there's anything that won't heal up in a few days.
Towson State needs to get some offense generated, and they're going to get the football. They will be receiving, moving from left to right as we start the second half. St. John's leading 14-0. In this game again is Division III National Championship game. Both of these teams going through a series of playoffs to reach this point. Towson State coming in with a record of 10-2. St. John's 9-0-1. Getting ready to kick off. Tom Bernardson, number 5, 5'6", 170-pound senior kicker for St. John's. Back deep to receive. Also, number 5, Wardell McCall, who's 5'7" and 150, a freshman. And number 45, Mark Weinstein, sophomore, along with number 24, Rick Simmons. And Bernardson hits a good one. McCall drops it, rolls into the end zone. He's going to come out with it. Straight up the middle to about the 15-yard line. Crosses the 15 to about the 16, and again, Towson State is not enjoying good field position. Mark Hall, number 34, makes the tackle for St. John's.
There was once again when McCall thought he had to run the ball out. Even though he fielded the ball on the 3-yard line, the impetus of the kicker put the ball into the end zone, and he could have stayed in the end zone. It would have been a touchback because he did not provide the impetus to put the ball back into the end zone.
They would have picked up 4 yards on the play had that happened. However, they have a 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line. Doyle and Maloney in the backfield behind Dulé. Dulé to pass over the middle, complete. Skip Chase with a nice reception on the look-in play out to the 33-yard line. 35, Joe Luby makes the tackle in the secondary. That's the biggest play of the day for Towson State. Here it is, Duffy.
Here's the same, a fake to the back coming in. Here's over the middle, we have Skip Chase, a fine receiver, 6'4". The last time he caught a pass like that, he fumbled the ball. This time he hung on for dear life.
Gain is out to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Towson State's Tigers. Just underway in the 3rd quarter. St. John's leading 14-0. I formation in the backfield with Doyle and Maloney. It's a deep back Maloney at the 35 to the maybe the 36-yard line. Up to make the play, number 47, Mark Griffin, and number 94, Ernie England, the middle guard for St. John's. The gain is about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Towson State on offense. They're averaging 225 yards per game in total offense and 25.5 points. They have not scored yet today, however. Dan Dulé. Doyle crosses the 40-yard line out to about the 42. Number 58, Tom Young, the right side linebacker, makes the play for St. John's along with Mark Griffin. As you look at Ken Doyle, number 44, the fullback, 5'9", 185-pound senior. He's gained 237 yards and 19 more of those today on 5 carries.
I don't know what Coach Phil Albert and his fine staff from Towson State told his team between has, but so far it's been very effective. They seem to have made some constructive changes in their offensive game plan.
They move the ball better right now on this possession than they have all afternoon. Doyle hit right behind the line of scrimmage immediately by Joe Wenzel, 6'3", 220-pound senior. Number 74, Wenzel's playing with a bad ankle, but it didn't look like it that time.
I hope we didn't jinx them that time, talking about how well they've been moving the ball, and then suddenly their progress that time was very much rudely interrupted.
There you see Joe Wenzel, who is, as we mentioned, playing on somewhat of a sprained ankle, but he's done an outstanding job. It's 4th down. Towson State will kick it away. Jeff Herrick, number 34, back to punt. It's a wobbly kick. O'Brien lets it bounce, and it takes a St. John's bounce coming back upfield at about the 42-yard line. And again, St. John's will have good field position. And we will be back with more NCAA college football action from the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl with the score, St. John's 14, Towson State nothing. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back with you at the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. St. John's going back on offense. 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Roeder is in at a wingback, along with Eustice and Schmitz in the backfield. Eustice straight ahead. Out in the 45-yard line. Brad Eustice with some good hard running. 24, Rick Simmons up from the secondary to make the hit on him and finally bring him down.
Eustace doesn't get where he's going with a lot of speed, but he gets there with eventually he gets there with a lot of gained yardage. He could go bear hunting without a switch.
As you see there, or as you saw a minute ago, 6 carries for 41 yards this afternoon. Coming into the game, Eustace again 372 yards. On 2nd down, Norman on the pitch back to Roeder. Roeder hit behind the line for a loss. Number 46, Paul White, the leading tackler for Towson State, who had 112 tackles coming into this game, with a fine defensive play to throw Roeder for a loss back around the 41 or 2-yard line.
The quarterback in the option is, and Norman's a good one. He ordinarily, let's take a look at the play because he could have given the ball to Eustace, the first man through. I think he'd have made yardage through there, but he kept it, and the option was very well defense.
It is 3rd down and 6 now for St. John's. Eustace straight ahead, breaks a tackle, close to first down yardage as he gets out across the 50-yard line. Picks up more than enough for the first down. About 3 more than he needed as they move into Towson State territory just across midfield with another first down.
Eustice must be a mathematics major because he certainly has learned that a straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points.
11 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the third quarter. St. John's moving and leading 14-0 over Towson State. First and 10. Norman to Eustice again. No, Schmitz from the outside. Schmitz at the 30. Down to the 20 to the 18-yard line. The belly series to the far side, and Norman again doing a great job of faking as he put the ball into Eustice's stomach, took it out, and gave it to Schmitz. Number 25, John Rawson, finally brought Schmitz down, but we have a penalty marker down, and that play is going to come back. Here it is, though, Duffy.
Once again, Tim Schmitz gets the ball on the inside belly, and he sets sail and almost goes all the way. There's a touchdown saving, but the ball play would have been called back regardless. Be a 5-yard penalty against St. John's. Another illegal procedure. That's only the second penalty they've had all day long.
That's right, and it nullified, however, a 31-yard run. And I don't know how many times today we've seen either turnovers or penalties nullify some of the biggest gains of the afternoon. It's still first down, however, but it is first down and 15. From the 45-yard line, St. John's own 45. Eustice still fighting for yardage. What a hard running back he is. Crosses midfield before Don Redmond, number 60, and number 38, Richard Roeder, can bring him down for Towson State.
Well, about the only defense for Eustice as far as the Towson State defensive linemen, 2 of them jump on his back and they hang on until they get help.
St. John's has just broken another Division III college playoff record for rushing. They now have 1,017 yards. The old record was 925 yards, so they continue to break Division III playoff records. Second down and 10 following the 5-yard gain by Eustice. The ball at midfield, the original line of scrimmage. Schmitz straight ahead. Maybe 3 yards as Towson State plays it tough in the middle. Again, Don Redmond, number 60, and Don Gibson, number 66. Joe Wagner, of course, the middle guard, number 71, in on the play. Towson State with some good people up front. They were ranked 5th in the nation in total defense. As you look at Schmitz, who's not too bad a player himself, 1,322 yards coming into this game and a whopping 7.3 yards per carry average. Schmitz now looking to break a playoff record of his own for yardage gain. Norman to Eustice. Eustice breaks the tackle and gets to the 30-yard line. It's a foot race down the far sideline. Eustice finally bumped out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. All the way down there with him, Don Gibson, number 66, and number 36, Randy Bielski in the secondary. Don Gibson, number 66, who chased him all the way down there on that 32-yard run, is doing a super job on defense.
Here's the second man through the inside belly, the least likely man to get the ball. The big power running back, Eustice, he turns on surprising speed and runs all the way down to about the 11 or 12-yard line, making the 11-yard line for a first down for St. John's.
That's the same play that Schmitz had gained on that was called back earlier, only this time Eustice carried the ball. First and 10 from the 11-yard line of Towson State for St. John's. Norman gets it to Schmitz. It was almost broken up. And Schmitz goes nowhere. Richard Wheeler, number 38, makes the play. Don Redmond, number 60, had gotten into the backfield and nearly took the handoff right out of Norman's hands. Schmitz now has carried 19 times for 71 yards.
This was the same play going to the left. On that particular play, Norman faked the ball to Eustice and then gave it to Schmitz.
Gain of about a yard on the play. The ball just at the 10-yard line. St. John's can get a first down without scoring a touchdown if they get it inside the 1. This has got to be about the toughest place to score from, Duffy, when you got a first and 10 at the 11.
It's not a bad place to be, though.
Second down and 9. Norman still has it, wants to throw. Roeder, touchdown! Jim Roeder, who came in at wingback, replacing Chris Boyd when he was injured. A touchdown pass of 10 yards from Jeff Norman for the third St. John touchdown of the afternoon.
Let's take a look at this pass. It's a fake of a belly, a rollout. Roeder, the slot back wide open. Very, very well conceived pass.
Norman is on to attempt the extra point. Holding number 17, Scott Becker. And Norman is 3 for 3, a 63-yard drive in 8 plays in 4.5 minutes. And we'll return with more Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl action with the score now. St. John's 21-0 over Towson State. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back at the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. St. John's set to kick off after scoring their third touchdown. Bernardson will do the kicking, and back deep to receive again. Wardle, McCall, Mark Weinstein, and Rick Simmons for Towson State. Tom Bernardson kicks it a low squibber, taken by the upback, number 31, Rick Bielski. And Rick Bielski, the brother of Randy Bielski, gets it out across the 35, or close to the 35, rather, to about the 34-yard line. There was a time when only the elite athlete enjoyed college athletics, and now thousands of young men and women are also benefiting from college athletics at the junior college level. The National Junior College Athletic Association urges your support of the junior college athletic program in your area. First and 10, Towson State from their own 34-yard line. Tailback is Maloney. And a penalty marker is thrown right in there. I believe we're going to have a face mask called, Duffy. It looks like somebody accidentally grabbed Maloney's face mask as he dove into the line. Everybody's flag is out. And they're not going to wait to mark it off either.
This is the first time that we've had Towson State in St. John's half of the field. Now with the ball on about the 47-yard line of St. John.
This could be the break that Towson State needs. We have 7 minutes and 54 seconds left to go in the third quarter. St. John's leading 21-0. Dulay to throw. Incomplete. Out on the far side, intended for Mike Bennett, defending on the play, number 34, Mark Hall of St. John's. It'll be second down and 10 now. Again, the ball is at the 47-yard line of St. John's. Dulay now 4 of 12 for 60 yards this afternoon. And he is a better passer than that, Duffy.
Well, that last pass was very well thrown. Of course, it was very well defended, but the ball hit Mike Bennett in the hands, and then it was dislodged by a defensive back.
Second and 10 from the St. John's 47 for Towson State. Doyle. Joe Luby makes the first hit on him along with Tom Cost. Good hard running by Doyle and good hard hitting by the St. John's defense as Doyle picks up pretty good yardage of 5 yards down to the 42-yard line of St. John's. It'll be third down and about 4 yards to go.
I like that Joe Luby. He plays with a reckless abandon. He really's near the ball.
He's the fellow who's been catching the punts without a fair catch. Third down, Towson State 2 of 7 on third down conversions this afternoon. Out of the I formation, Tom Jones. Number 97, Gary Stang makes the tackle. Jones is not quite to first down yardage.
We're going to bring back a fourth and about a yard to go, or less than a yard, about a foot, and I'm sure we'll see that Towson State will go for the first down with the ball down on about the 37-yard line. In fact, they're going to call for a measurement. It's that close.
They have to go for it, trailing 21-0, and the clock now down to 6:48 left to go in the third quarter. As they bring the chains on, let's remind you about Monday night's NFL football here on ABC. One of the best games, really, of the entire schedule coming up this Monday night at 9 and 8 o'clock Central Time. The AFC Central Division leading Cincinnati Bengals will be in Oakland to play the team with the best record in football, the Oakland Raiders. Ken Anderson and the Bengals are in a must-win situation. Kenny Anderson against Kenny Stabler on NFL Monday Night Football at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central Time on ABC. Fourth down. I don't believe that Tom Jones made it. We'll have to see where they give him his forward progress. He was driven back by 3 or 4 defenders, including number 88, Tom Cost. And they're going to bring the chains back on again.
I believe he lost yardage. I think he'll be about a half a yard short. He only needed a foot to go, but I don't believe he made that.
Duffy, would you think that was a wise decision as we look at the play again, giving it to the tailback Jones rather than the upback?
Well, the only plays in football that are good are those that work. And had it worked, it would have been a good call. It didn't work, so it was a bad call.
St. John's takes over.
Ordinarily, Steve, the defense is looking for that first up back to get the ball, so they thought maybe that the element of giving it to the second back might be a surprise.
St. John's going back on offense. First and 10 from their own 38-yard line. They're leading 21-0 with 6.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Towson State, with their first real threat, the first time they moved into St. John's territory, couldn't convert on 4th and 1, and so St. John's is back to the offense. Norman wants to throw. Pressure's on him. He's dropped for a loss. Great pressure by number 8.
Out of aggressiveness.
Could be a great throw prospect. It is now 2nd down and 22 yards after the 12-yard loss of Haley dropping Norman. On the belly series again, Schmitz to the outside. Schmitz crosses the 30-yard line, gets to about the 32 or 3-yard line. Rick Simmons, number 24, makes the tackle for Towson State. Five and a half minutes to go in the third quarter. Gain of about 6 yards on the play. It is 3rd down and 16 now. St. John's at their own 33. Dave Rockers is split out to the right. Straight up the middle. Schmitz out to the 45-yard line. Tackled by Paul White, number 46 in the Towson State secondary.
St. John's offense is really very unusual. There'll seem to be a big pile up at the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden, a back will burst through an offensive back, and he finds daylight. It's sort of a delayed offense.
Not enough for the first down yardage, however. It is 4th down and 4. On the punt, Frank Foster, number 4, back deep to receive. Randy Bilski, number 36. Short kick, bounds at about the 35-yard line and goes out of bounds at a 33.5-yard line is where they mark it. 4 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in the third quarter. We'll be back with more of the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl for you right after this message. Steve Zabriskie along with Duffy Doherty as we have 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And you see the situation. Towson State leading 21-0, or rather St. John's leading Towson State 21-0. Excuse me. The Tigers are back on offense, however, and they need some offense. 1st and 10 from the 34. Did he catch it? Still bobbling around. I believe he did, yes. A super catch by Towson State super tight end Skip Chase, number 83. Ernie England made the tackle. He received that ball about 3 times.
That's right. He caught it 2 or 3 times. He caught it and bobbled it, caught it and bobbled, and finally caught it again.
It's first down yardage, however. We have an injured player on the field. Here's the play again, Duffy.
Here it is. Skip Chase bobbled it and catches it before the ball hits the ground. That's good concentration when a receiver can do that.
That's Chase's 3rd reception for 49 yards so far this afternoon. The injured player is number 43, Greg Wilkerson, the defensive back, a 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore who's being helped out the field. Probably looks like he just got shaken up. And we certainly hope that he's all right.
He's protesting. He wants to get back in there. He went off reluctantly.
There are a lot of tough fellas out there playing football today and a lot of hard hitting going on. 1st and 10, Towson State. They're moving from their own 46-yard line. High formation in the backfield. Jones. Right at the line of scrimmage, number 94, Ernie England came in to make the first hit on him behind the line of scrimmage. Gain of perhaps 3 on the play. Out to the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Again, we remind you, coming up tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central Time, the big Southwest Conference shootout between Texas Longhorns and Arkansas's Hogs from Austin, Texas, here on ABC. 2nd and 7 from the 49-yard line. Dulé on the pitch. Doyle crosses midfield, gets into St. John's territory at the 48-yard line. He's hit down there immediately by Tom Koss, number 88, and number 47, Mark Griffin. And again, Towson State moves into St. John's territory. It'll now be 3rd down and about 5 yards to go from the St. John's 48.
You know, we heard a lot about the St. John's offense, and they were touted to be such a great offensive team, breaking all the records, but their defensive team is outstanding also.
3rd down and a long 4 or a short 5. Dulé to pass. Complete and out of bounds to Skip Chase at the 41-yard line. And that is enough yardage for the first down. And again, it's Chase's 4th reception.
Here's Dan DeLay throwing to Skip Chase, a sideline cut. He just catches the ball, steps out of bounds, but not to left. He made a first down.
Dulé now 6 of 14 passing for 77 yards. As his statistics continue to improve as the game goes on, and they're going to have to, he is the key to Towson State's offense. High formation in the backfield. Jeff Herrick, number 34, the ball carrier. Herrick, the punter, a reserve tailback, is into the game now. Gets about a yard down to the 30 or the 40-yard line. Tackle made by Tom Koss, the left defensive end, number 88.
Number 94, Ernie England, the middle guard for St. John's. He's all over the field. He's out making tackles all streets. He's listed as a freshman, but he played 4 years of service football, so he's kind of an elderly freshman.
He's an old freshman. On second down and 8, Dulé completes a pass. Number 84, Ken Snoots. Snoots is thrown out of bounds by his opposite number 34, Mark Hall, the defensive back. As you look at Ken Snoots, Snoots is 6'3", 200-pound freshman receiver. Has caught 24 passes coming into this game, averaging 14.8 yards per reception and scored 4 touchdowns. Towson State with a couple of good receivers in Skip Chase, who's got to be a pro prospect at 6'5" and 240, and Ken Snoots, who's only a freshman. They're 2 top receivers. And again, Dan Dulé continues to improve on his passing in Towson State now, moving into St. John's territory. Overthrown, intended for Snoots once again. Defending on the play, number 21, Terry Garrity of St. John's.
Mr. Garrity has already intercepted 2 passes and just about had a 3rd one right there. Terry Garrity with a nose for the football.
The incompletion stops the clock with 2 minutes 5 seconds left to go in the 3rd period. St. John's leading 21-0 in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl for the NCAA Division III Championship. Here's what's happening in Division II playoff action. The semifinals today in the 3rd quarter in the Newt Rockne Bowl. Northern Michigan 16-14, and in the Grantland Rice Bowl, it's Montana State over North Dakota State in the 3rd quarter, 7-3. Those 2 winners will meet next week for the Division II title. Dulé dropped for a loss by Ernie England. Duffy, you were just talking about Ernie England. He comes up with a great defensive play.
I'm sure those 4 years in the service helped his football.
Not only an elderly freshman, he's very experienced. That's the 3rd time that Dulé has been sacked by the St. John's defense.
There's another shot of Ernie England throwing to Labril. Big loss.
St. John's taking over 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. Norman fakes to the wingback, looking to throw complete. Schmitz dropped the ball. He was all alone at the 50-yard line. There wasn't anybody within 5 yards of him. He just flat dropped the ball. 1:53 now left to go in the 3rd quarter.
That's about the first thing that Schmitz has done wrong all day long. He's made some super plays. He's an outstanding back. He blocks, he runs, and he catches the ball ordinarily very well.
Duffy, are you surprised at all at the way that St. John's has been able to throttle what has been a prolific offense for Towson State?
Yes, I am.
First man through. Schmitz gets close to the 50-yard line, about out to the 48-yard line. 77 Gabe Morrow and 53 Paul Nelson make the tackle for the Towson State Tigers. The gain is out to the 48-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 6 now for St. John's from their own 48.
Coach John Gagliardi has coached teams. His teams, in fact, have gone undefeated for 20 games. They were undefeated last year.
St. John's on the 3rd down conversion, 5 of 12 so far this afternoon. Norman to the first back. Schmitz breaks it. He's at the 30-yard line. It's a foot race now. Touchdown, St. John's. Tim Schmitz has gone over 100 yards this afternoon and puts the Johnnies out in front now, 27-0. Let's take another look at it, Duffy.
Here it is. The play looks like it's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Then all of a sudden, out through the opening of the line, bursts the 2nd man through, Tim Schmitz. And he legs it with that some great speed. I didn't realize he could run that fast.
A 3-play, 56-yard drive that took only 49 seconds for St. John's to score again. Their offense, very powerful, very methodical, but also with very, very quick striking power. Norman will attempt the extra point. Almost blocked. He gets it through, however. He's 4 for 4. Just 1:08 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. St. John's out to a 28-0 lead. And Duffy, Tim Schmitz has got to really be something. We heard a lot about him in his 1,300 yards this year, but he's gone over the 100-yard mark now and has been very, very impressive this afternoon. 23 carries for 144 yards for Tim Schmitz today.
I thought at the beginning of the game that he was a power runner, and it wasn't until that broken play, that screen pass, the broken play there, when he went 40-some yards for a touchdown, that I finally was convinced he had outstanding speed.
A moment ago, we showed you what's happening in the Division II playoff games. We want to remind you that those two winners will play next week for the Division II National Championship in the Pioneer Bowl from Wichita Falls, Texas. Those two semifinal games, the New Broccoli Bowl and the Grantland Rice Bowl, are being played today. And so, the Pioneer Bowl will be held next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern Time and 12:30 Central for most of these ABC stations. Bernardson kicks off again, and it is Wendell McCall who takes it straight up the middle. Trying to find an opening, gets out to the 25-yard line. Wendell McCall, a scooter at 5'7" and 150 pounds, only a freshman. A good return that time as he fielded it cleanly and brought it out to the 25, where Towson State will go on offense 1st and 10.
I'm sure that all the fans from Towson State back in Maryland watching their fine team are disappointed. I'm sure the players are disappointed and Coach Phil Albert's disappointed, but they must remember that they're the second best Division III team in the country. They're the only other team besides St. John's that got to the final.
Well, they had to be considered the underdog coming into this game, and there's no reason to believe that they can't get back into it now with the way they can score, the way they can throw the football. They're running it now, however. Doyle, the ball carrier, getting out near the 30-yard line. They mark it right at the 30, the gain of 5, stopped by Gary Stang, number 97, and Ernie England, number 94. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Again, we remind you tonight, Texas and Arkansas, the Razorbacks and the Longhorns from Austin, Texas, at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on most of these ABC stations on NCAA college football here on ABC. On 2nd and 5, Dulé to pass complete to Bennett. Bennett fighting for yardage. Gets to about the 37-yard line, maybe the 38-yard line. Terry Garrity, number 21, and Mark Griffin, number 47, make the play for St. John's.
You don't see that very often. Number 21, Mike Bennett, catching a pass, and number 21, Terry Garrity, stopping him.
You get a good look there at Mike Bennett, a 5'10", 175-pound senior, who has caught 41 passes for 751 yards and 6 touchdowns coming into this game today. I formation in the backfield. Perhaps a yard gain on the play. Short yardage at best by Maloney, the tailback. Again, Gary Stang, number 97, making the tackle, along with number 43, Greg Wilkerson, up from the secondary. Time runs out here in the 3rd quarter. And we will return with more NCAA college football and the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl from Phoenix City, Alabama. With the score, St. John's 28, Towson State of Maryland, nothing. Steve Zabriskie, along with Duffy Doherty, set to bring you the final 15 minutes of action here. With St. John's leading 28-0, Towson State having just 15 minutes left to get back into the game. Here's the last touchdown, Duffy.
Here we have first man through this time on the belly play, Tim Schmidt, legging it all the way for a touchdown. Tim Schmidt gaining 144 yards and 23 carries, the most productive runner for St. John's today.
And all season, for that matter. That's what put St. John's out in front 28-0 just before the end of the 3rd quarter. And the stats just continue to impress St. John's offense, Duffy. Is really, really impressive.
We're right on schedule, 326 yards gained.
Minutes of action here. With St. John's leading 28-0, Towson State having just 15 minutes left to get back into the game. Here's the last touchdown, Duffy.
Here we have first man through this time on the belly play, Tim Schmidt, legging it all the way for a touchdown. Tim Schmidt gaining 144 yards and 23 carries, the most productive runner for St. John's today.
And all season, for that matter. That's what put St. John's out in front 28-0 just before the end of the 3rd quarter. And the stats just continue to impress St. John's offense, Duffy. Is really, really impressive.
We're right on schedule, 326 yards gained in 3 quarters versus 141 for Towson State.
Towson State now on 2nd down and 9. Complete to Snoots. Nice move as he gets down to the 5-yard line. Ken Snoots on the pass from Dan Dulé, finally dropped by Joe Luby, number 35 in the St. John's secondary. And there are no penalty markers down. Let's take another look at it, Duff.
Here it is. Dan DeLay back throwing the best play of the day for Towson State. Kenson is going down the sideline, making a great catch, staying in bounds, tiptoeing right down the sidelines, going all the way down to the 5-yard line.
A 57-yard pass play from Dan DeLay to Ken Schmitz. And that is by far Towson State's biggest play of the day, and this is their biggest threat. They have a 1st and goal now at the St. John's 5-yard line. High formation in the backfield with Doyle and Maloney. Maloney, the ball carrier, submarine by number 88, Tom Cost. A great defensive play by Cost as he dumps Maloney for a loss of a yard. Back to the 6-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal.
I don't know how Tom Cost got in there that rapid. He's playing defensive end, but he submarined right in between the end and tackle and hit the Jones before he got to the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and goal for the Towson State Tigers. Their first scoring opportunity of the afternoon coming here early in the 4th quarter. Snoots in motion. And we're going to have an offside penalty charged against number 94, Ernie England. Illegal procedure against St. John's. And that's a great break now as Towson gets up 3 yards, half the distance to the goal from the 6 to the 3-yard line on the illegal procedure. And there's Ernie, a little over-anxious on the goal line defense.
We should point out that any penalty inflicted inside the 10-yard line is only for half the distance to the goal. Otherwise, that would have been for 5 yards. The fact that the ball was on the 6-yard line, it's only a 3-yard penalty.
That's the 4th penalty against St. John's for a total of 38 yards so far this afternoon. All right, 2nd and goal from the 3 to pitch back. Very close to the line of scrimmage is all that Jones can get before Ernie England makes the tackle. A lot of running by Tom Jones to pick up maybe a yard. Well, he got close to 2 yards, really, down to the 1-yard line. And the angle kind of fooled me there for a minute. It is now 3rd and goal from the 1. Jones and Bielski now in the backfield behind Dulé. Again, Snoots goes in motion. Dulé wants to throw into the end zone. Overthrown, intended for Skip Chase, number 83. The ball was just too high. And it is now 4th down and goal at the 1.
This St. John's team continues to surprise me on defense. They only gave up 1 big play all day long, and that was the pass to Snoots. Right now, they've made 3 big defensive plays down inside the 5. One more effort like that, and they will keep their scoreboard unblemished.
Maloney and Doyle now return to the Towson State backfield. Randy Bielski, or rather Rick Bielski, Randy's brother, and Jones go out. The big backs are back in with Maloney and Doyle in the I formation. Maloney dive, touchdown, Towson State. And the Tiger fans are happy about that one. Mike Maloney diving 1 yard on 4th down and goal for Towson State's first touchdown of the afternoon.
It was just a great individual effort by Mike Maloney. He had to dive over the line of scrimmage to make the touchdown.
That's a 75-yard drive in just 8 plays, 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Randy Bielski, no, a bad snap as Bielski attempted the extra point. And the holder, Carter Wilson, is dropped by Ernie England, number 94. So Towson State loses out on their scoring opportunity for the extra point, at least. NCAA football will continue with the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl right after this message. Let's take a look at the touchdown, Duffy, on 4th and 1. Maloney's out of the tailback position.
4th and 1, there goes Mike Maloney over the top. You say you're not supposed to take a dive in sports, but that's one time when a dive paid off. Mike Maloney, number 42, scoring the only and first score of the game for the Towson Tigers.
That would have been very disheartening for them. Maloney has gained 26 yards on 13 carries, but it would have been very disheartening if they had gone all that way and not scored. Bielski kicks off. Joe Luby and O'Brien are back deep. It's Luby who takes it at the goal line. Luby out across the 15-yard line, runs into a whole hassle of St. John's Johnnies. And they'll mark it at about the 18-yard line. Don Redmond, number 60, and 55, Don Welsh, making the tackle for St. John's at that time. Division II and III National Collegiate Championships already have been contested in cross country and soccer. The University of California, Irvine and North Central College won the Division II and III cross country titles respectively, and Loyola College of Maryland and Brandeis captured divisional soccer titles last Saturday. Now this is the Division III football championship. St. John's first and 10 from their own 18-yard line, leading 28-6. Norman on the option play, keeping, crossing the 20, fumble. Bielski falls on the ball. We'll wait and see. I believe they blew the whistle. They do. They ruled that Norman was down. Bielski had recovered the ball, but it'll be St. John's ball still.
This is the worst field position that the St. John's team has had all during this game. They've never taken the ball over inside their 20 until this occasion.
Gain of 4 makes it second down and 6 from the 21-yard line. Eustice and Schmitz again in the backfield. Schmitz, the first man through, hit immediately. Good defense by the left side of the Towson State defensive line. Number 48, Joe Kelly, one of the first players to get to him for the Tigers of Towson State. The gain is out to about the 24-yard line. It'll be third down now and 4 yards to go for St. John's.
Towson State has demonstrated an ability to score rapidly and often. And there's plenty of time left in this ball game, 11 minutes and 30 seconds. So they could put a couple more scores on the board.
St. John's wants to keep it on the ground and run the clock out. However, Schmitz, second man through, crosses the 25-yard line. Not nearly enough for the first down yardage. He gets out to about the 26. Don Gibson, number 66, along with number 38, Richard Wheeler, on the play for Towson State. Here you look at Tim Schmitz, a face that's become very familiar this afternoon for the job he's done for St. John's University. It'll be fourth down. 2 yards to go. On to punt number 4, Frank Foster back deep to receive. Randy Bielski. Towson State. Foster hits it, a high kick from his own 15-yard line. Taken at by number 24, Rick Simmons. And Towson State again will have good field position after a 28-yard punt, no return. And in NCAA football, the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl will continue after this message. Steve Zabriskie along with Duffy Doherty back in Phoenix City, Alabama. 10 minutes and 44 seconds left to go in the game. As you see there, St. John's is leading 28-6. Towson State back on offense, however, with good field position at their own 47-yard line, first and 10. Dulé over the middle, complete. Skip Chase, number 83, again on the reception. Joe Luby, number 35, makes the tackle. 16 yards on the play and another Towson State first down as the Tiger offense now is beginning to move here, Duffy, in the fourth quarter.
They need another quick score. They have plenty of time to score. Let's take a watch now. Take a good look at it. There's Skip Chase, number 83. He's been the leading receiver so far for the Towson Tigers.
Dulé now 10 of 20 for 163 yards passing. Quick toss out here to Bennett. Bennett hit immediately and thrown out of bounds by number 34, Mark Hall, cornerback on the right side. A short gain on the play. Nonetheless, another reception and a 4-yard pickup. As you see Mike Bennett there, 5'10", 175-pound senior.
Dan DeLay didn't have much time to get rid of that ball. There was a defensive tackle right in his face when he threw it.
The pickup is 4 yards. It'll be second down and 6. Ball at the St. John's 32. Dulé to pass again. Eludes the pressure, going for the touchdown. Ken Snoots tackled in the end zone by Terry Garrity, but Towson State scores again very quickly, and again the big play man is Ken Snoots, and we may have a penalty marker on the play. Personal foul against St. John. Here it is again, Duffy.
Let's take a look. DeLay was rushed very hard. He scrambled. He gets open. He throws the ball. Ken Smootz is there in the end zone. A great catch, a great throw. 6 more points on the board for the Towson Tigers.
3 plays, 53 yards, and only 47 seconds. And Towson State shows that they can get right back into it here. The personal foul was against St. John's. Naturally, it was declined.
I believe they'll go for 2 points here. It's to their advantage now to make the score 28-14. They're going to go for a 2-point conversion. John Gagliardi getting a little concerned, a little worried now. They were coasting along with a 28-0 lead that has dwindled to 28-12. It may become 28-14 here in a second.
Doyle and Maloney are in the backfield behind Dulé as they go for two. 28-12. Looking in the end zone to throw. Complete to Bennett. Again, Mike Bennett on the reception. And we will return with what has become even more exciting college football. The Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. It's now 28-14. Towson State making a run at recapturing what had been a game that almost had gotten out of hand. Duffy, let's take another look at the two-point play. This could turn out to be perhaps the biggest play of the afternoon here.
Dan DeLay's upgrading his statistics. Here he throws to Mike Bennett, number 21. All alone in the end zone. Good catch. The Tigers have been very impressive here in the fourth quarter. Now DeLay has thrown completed 12 out of 22 for 201 yards, and Ken Snoots has got 4 for 106 yards.
Including that last touchdown. The personal foul that we saw on the touchdown play has been assessed now on the kickoff. And Randy Bielski will kick off for Towson State from the St. John's 45-yard line. Joe Luby and Davey O'Brien are back deep to receive, and he punches it. It's going to go the 10-yard line. Schmitz, the up back, takes it, and he's in trouble at the 5. A very good piece of strategy on the part of Towson State, Duffy. They just not kicking out of the end zone, but make a little chip shot.
They just kicked it down to about the 5-yard line. They didn't have much territory to cover in the coverage.
Dennis Keene and Charlie Wiles were down there for Towson State to make the tackle. And there you see the scoring drive of the Tigers. It got them back into it. Now 28-14, St. John's leads. We have 10 minutes, 7 seconds left to go in the game.
Momentum is a very important thing in football. The momentum of this game is completely changed. For 3 quarters, St. John's has it. Now the Towson Tigers have all the momentum.
They also have the field position as St. John's has a 1st and 10 from their own 5. Schmitz straight ahead, out to about the 6 or 7 yard line. And the Towson defense is fired up. Schmitz is met right there by Richard Wheeler, number 38, among others, along with number 66, Don Gibson, and number 53, Paul Nelson.
This is the most important series of downs in the ball game as far as Towson is concerned, Towson State. If they can stop St. John's and take the ball away from them, and they will certainly get good field position, probably inside the 50-yard line. They have 9 minutes and 52 seconds. There's an injured player on the field. Maybe you want to comment on
Tim Schmitz, who is the most important man in the scheme of things for St. John's, is down. And there you see John Gagliardi, the head coach of St. John's, coming onto the field to look at his star player. Schmitz appears to be in a great amount of pain as they have taken his helmet off now. He's holding his head. We want to remind you this program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Now let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
All Odysseys available at Werba's, in stock for immediate delivery.
Being attended to, and we'll see if he's going to stay in the game. I believe he is. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him, Duffy. He's had a big afternoon, as you can see, 26 carries.
We'll see Tim back in the ball game. I'm sure he's all right. In fact, he's staying in, I believe. He's convinced the doctor and the trainer that there's nothing wrong with him. I'm sure Coach John Gagliardi would take him out if there's anything that would jeopardize Tim Schmidt, the great player's health.
151 yards for Schmitz this afternoon, and the Johnnies have now called a timeout. Total offense in this half has been very even. In fact, as an example of how Towson State has gotten back into it, Duffy, here in the second half, they've gained 173 yards, and St. John's has gained 123 yards. So Towson State has gained 50 more yards this half to make the game closer.
And most of that has come in the last 6 minutes.
That's right, here in the fourth quarter. We have 9 minutes, 52 seconds left to go in the game, and I think one reason that St. John's has called a timeout is to let Schmitz get a little more rest before getting back into action. Towson State having good field position now, something they did not enjoy at all in the first half, as they have St. John's backed up. They have a 2nd down and 9 yards to go from their own 7-yard line. Norman still has it. Cuts up inside and gets out close to the 10, but that's all. Don Redmond, number 60, continues to do an outstanding job on defense for Towson State. along with Paul White, number 46, and number 38, Richard Wheeler.
I would think that Towson State Tigers could gamble on this third down play, 3rd and 6, because I doubt very much if St. John's quarterback Jeff Norman will put the ball in the air.
There you see Jeff Norman, who got up rather slowly after that tackle. The ball is at the 10-yard line. It is 3rd down and 5. St. John's from their own 10. Norman straight ahead, giving off to the first man through. Schmitz, and Schmitz gets just 2 yards. Stopped by 71, Joe Wagner, the 220-pound middle guard, and number 48, Joe Kelly, the senior linebacker.
WJZ-TV, Channel 13, Baltimore.
From the shadow of their own goalpost, number 4, Frank Foster, 6'3", 195-pound freshman, coming on to do the punting once again for St. John's. Back deep to receive, number 36, Randy Bielski. Bielski standing right about at midfield. Foster hits it from the 3-yard line. End-over-end kick. Bielski comes up and takes it at the 44-yard line of St. John's, down to the 40-yard line. Tackle made by number 73, Mark Mudeking. NCAA football, the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl will continue after this message. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back with you as you look at Phil Albert, the head coach of Towson State, whose Tigers are back in this game, Duffy. And they're at the 40-yard line of St. John's right now with a 1st and 10. Another quick score, and we really got a ball game.
The resilience of these young Americans really amazes me. Not just football, but all young Americans. Here's a team hopelessly beaten for 3 quarters, 28-0. Now they're back in it.
And they have 8.5 minutes left to play in the game, which is plenty of time. Out of the I formation, Dulé rolling to the right. Completes it back at the 20-yard line. Mike Bennett at the 15. Joe Luby finally hauls him down at the 18-yard line of St. John's. And what were we saying, Duffy? There they get right back into it with a big 22-yard play. Here it is again.
Here it is. Dan DeLay, counter pass. Mike Bennett running a very intelligent pattern. He gets in front of the defensive man, cuts back across the field. Watch him reverse his field now. Take the ball all the way down to about the 14-yard line. The Tigers are rolling again.
It is the 14. I believe I said the 18. Pardon me. 1st and 10, Towson State for the 14-yard line. Tailback Maloney. Short yardage close to the 10-yard line. 94, Ernie England on the tackle for St. John's, along with Mark Griffin, the linebacker, on the left side. They mark it at the 11-yard line. Pick up of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Towson State's offense finally getting on track here in the 4th quarter after not doing much for the first 3. You look from the end zone on 2nd down and 8 from the 11-yard line. The pass just a little bit too tall. Intended for Skip Chase. Chase, a fine pro prospect, 6'4", or rather 6'5", 240 pounds, a senior who had gained 513 yards receiving coming into this game. Chase has 5 receptions today for 71 yards.
Dan DeLay had to throw that ball a little high. He had to throw it over the defender. Chase was open, but he was behind the linebacker.
It is 3rd down and 8 now from the 11-yard line. Towson State fighting to get back into it, 28-14. 7:20 left to play in the game. Dulé wants to throw again into the end zone. Intercepted. Picked off. Intended for Rick Bielski. Picked off by number 24 or 34. It is Mark Hall in the St. John's secondary.
Here's an excellent defensive play. Watch Mark Hall cover the defender, step in front of Bielski right here, pick up the ball and run it back out to about the 12-yard line.
That's the 4th interception that Dan Dulé has suffered this afternoon, and that one came at a most inopportune time. Maybe he forced that ball a little bit, Duffy. There was good coverage. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it. St. John's back on offense. 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line, leading 28-14. Straight up the middle goes Schmitz, and he goes nowhere. 71, Joe Wagner, and 77, Gabe Morrow make the tackle for Towson State's defense, which is fired up now. They want to get that ball back again and give their offense another chance, with 7 minutes now left to play in the game. Later today on ABC at 5 Eastern Time, Wide World of Sports returns. You'll see the World Professional Skiing Championships from Steamboat Springs in Vail, Colorado, and the Arizona 150 Indianapolis car race from Phoenix, Arizona. Wide World of Sports, ski racing and auto racing, later today at 5, 4 Central Time over most of these ABC stations. Second down, 9 yards to go after the gain of 1. Eustice breaks the tackle, gets across the 20-yard line. 66 Don Gibson and 46 Paul White on the tackle for Towson State.
The Tigers may have lost a golden opportunity, or they no questionably lost a golden opportunity, but right now it seems that St. John's has regained their offensive composure and poise. They only need 2.5 yards now, the third down, to retain possession of the ball. Time is becoming a factor.
Eustice could become a 100-yard back. He has 93 yards and 10 carries. Schmitz already has over 150. Here's the pitch to Roeder. Roeder going to throw a halfback pass. Complete to number 83, Mike Grant, at the 40-yard line. A penalty marker is down, however. A penalty marker is down, and I believe it is against St. John's. Mike Grant, number 83, the son of Minnesota Viking coach Bud Grant, making the reception, but it's going to be brought back.
That was a very daring call by Norman. It was a great gamble. It was a fake of a belly. In fact, it fooled me. I thought it was a running play. I thought that Eustice had the ball. An ineligible receiver downfield.
You mark it off back to the 10-yard line, and another break for Towson State as they keep St. John's backed up. That's the 6th penalty on St. John's for a total of 64 yards in penalties today. 5 minutes, 56 seconds left to go in the game. 28-14. St. John's has the ball in the lead, but they have a 3rd and 13 from their own 10-yard line. John Gagliardi, coach of St. John's, one of the winningest coaches in college football today. Norman on the wingback reverse to Roeder. Roeder goes nowhere. 71 Joe Wagner continues to do a super job in the middle. Stops Roeder for a 1-yard gain at the 11-yard line. It'll be 4th and 12, and St. John's will have to kick it away again. Towson State looking for another opportunity to get back on offense and perhaps make the game even closer. The clock continuing to run now, and the clock is their biggest enemy. Frank Foster on the punt. Randy Bielski, Towson State's do-everything back, who is also a kicker himself, is back to receive. Nice high punt. Bielski calls for the fair catch at the 48-yard line of Towson State. A 41-yard punt by Frank Foster. NCAA football, the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl continues after this message. We have just under 5 minutes left to play in the game as you see the situation there. Towson State, however, going back on offense with another opportunity to perhaps pull this one out. They're at their own 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Hewlett dropping straight back. A long one intended for Bennett. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play by number 34, Mark Hall. And Hall thought there should have been offensive pass interference.
Well, that was a very close call. You could have called pass interference. I think that Bennett made a very exceptional play. Watch him on defense here. He goes over the shoulder. Now watch him go over the shoulder of number 34, Mark Hall. If he touched him before the ball gets there, which he did, they could have ruled that offensive interference. The penalty would have come back from the spot of the previous down.
They must have ruled that he was going for the football, so it is now 2nd down and 10 from Towson State's own 48-yard line. Bennett has caught 4 for 46 yards so far this afternoon. Hewlett with the pressure on him from England. He's dropped for a loss back at the 31-yard line. Again, Ernie England, the middle guard, 6'4", 220-pound freshman. But don't let that freshman fool you. As Duffy mentioned, he was in the Army for a while. He's a mature young man. And there you see Dan Hewlett. And here's another look at it, Duffy.
Watch the quickness and agility of Ernie England, number 94. He's the middle guard. I don't know how he got that far into the secondary, in the backfield so quickly.
That's the 4th sack of Hewlett this afternoon. 4 minutes, 15 seconds. The clock continuing to run, and that was a big play now because it moves them all the way back to the 31. Makes it tougher now for Towson State with a 3rd down and 27 yards to go. Dan Hewlett, fine quarterback for Towson State, and now got a timeout. A delay of game penalty is called against Towson State. They took a little bit too much time. And as they mark it off, we'll remind you that at 9 o'clock Eastern Time tonight, 8 o'clock Central, the second half of our NCAA football doubleheader here on ABC, the Arkansas-Texas game from Austin, Texas. The Razorbacks of Frank Broyles against the Longhorns of Darrell Royal, and a couple of great runners in that game. Fullback Earl Campbell is back in action for Texas. And then, of course, Ben Cowens of Arkansas, one of the finest rushers in the Southwest Conference. At 9 Eastern, 8 Central here on ABC, Texas, Arkansas. Dulé avoiding the pressure, throws over the middle, intercepted. Joe Luby. Luby looking for some running room. Finally tackled by Mike Bennett at about the 41-yard line. A 10-yard return on the interception by Joe Luby, and that may have snuffed out Towson State's last scoring opportunity, as we now have 3:42 left to play in the game.
You can be sure now that St. John's will keep the ball. Here's the interception now. Joe Luby's been near the ball all day long. He picks off the pass, runs it back down to the 40-yard line. Now let's watch St. John's put the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
They want to run that clock out and hold on to this win. Straight up the middle goes Eustice, crosses the 40-yard line to about the 37 or 8-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. Just 3.5 minutes left in the game, and that's Towson State's biggest enemy right now. They've made an amazing comeback in the fourth quarter, Duffy, but it looks as if, unless they can get the ball back quickly, the clock is going to beat them.
Well, their great rally, I think, has fallen a little bit short, but you have to admire them for their courageous comeback.
You also have to admire the fact that they're playing perhaps one of the greatest teams in the country right now in St. John's, who has shown that they are truly a super football team. Schmitz goes nowhere. He stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Don Gibson, number 66, and number 46, Paul White, up from the secondary. John Gagliardi done a great job at St. John's. Doesn't even scrimmage his players during the week, but they certainly know how to hit when they get here on the field for the game. And there's one of the big stories. 6 turnovers for Towson State to St. John's 2.
Brad Eustice has carried for about 97 yards now. He just needs about 3 or 4 more yards to go over the 100-yard mark.
On 3rd down and 6, Eustice straight ahead, getting close to that 100-yard mark, down near the 32-yard line. Joe Wagner, number 71, makes the tackle. We'd like to thank St. John's head coach and athletic director John Gagliardi and his staff, and sports information director Tom Woodward for their cooperation. And we'd also like to express our appreciation to Towson State's athletic director Tom Meinhardt and Coach Phil Albert and his staff, and sports information director Peter Schlur for their help in preparing this game. And in addition to that, we want to thank all of the people of the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl Committee here in Phoenix City, Alabama, for their hospitality and their tremendous cooperation in making this NCAA ABC telecast possible for all of you to enjoy this afternoon. And we certainly hope that you have been enjoying this game. We'd also like to thank our spotter, Jim Moorfield, and our statistician, Peter Diamond, for their assistance in presenting the game to you this afternoon here on ABC. 2:21 left to play in the game. 28-14, St. John's leading Towson State.
Incidentally, Brad Eustice, number 46, big fullback from St. John's, just went to the 100. He didn't go over it, but he went right to the 100-yard mark. He's gained 100 yards, so that means that they have 2 running backs with over 100 yards. Tim Schmitz with about 160 yards, and Brad Eustice with 100 yards. In fact, 154 yards for Tim Schmitz, and 100 yards even for Brad Eustice.
254 yards total out of 2 players rushing is a great afternoon. And that just shows you what a super offensive line and a great set of running backs St. John's has. They've eliminated the mistakes, they've controlled the football, and they are about to become the Division III NCAA football champions unless Towson State can come up with another miracle. It is 4th down with 2 yards to go. Norman may not have it. He's wrapped up right about at the line of scrimmage. Quickly making the tackle on him is number 66, Don Gibson, who's just played an outstanding game for Towson State, and number 48, Joe Kelly.
He did not make it. We have a turnover. Once again, with the Towson Tigers will have a chance to put some points on the board.
As you can see, they'll be using their 2-minute drill. We'll get an opportunity to see what kind of a quick running offense they can do, as the clock is really against them. 2:14, as you saw, is all that remains in this game. They trail by 14 points, and they need some quick scores. Snoots is split out wide to the left, Bennett to the right. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Bennett on the halfback pass, looking for a double pass. Now the receiver falls down, and it's intercepted by St. John's. Gagliardi, I believe we got a penalty marker down. A personal foul is going to be called, or interference. Maybe he got knocked down and didn't fall down.
It's interference, even though it was done unintentionally. He did trip the receiver. Mike Bennett throw the ball. That was a well-conceived play. It was a lateral and then a forward pass.
The Gagliardi interception goes for naught. Gagliardi is intercepted enough this afternoon, I think. The penalty is a 30-yarder. And they move it down to the 37-yard line of St. John's. Another break for Towson State. Clock now with 1:52 to go in the game. The Tigers want to score one more time. Complete to Snoots. Snoots at the 30-yard line. Finally brought down. 81, Tim Crispin. Along with number 34, Mark Hall, make the tackle in the secondary. And the clock now continues to run with 1:33. Towson State trying to line up quickly at the 30-yard line. 2nd down and 3 after the gain of 7 on the pass to Snoots. Towson State wants one more touchdown now. Dulé throws it over the head of Snoots out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:22 left to play in the game.
Talking about time being a factor, you know, all the years I coached at Michigan State, we never ever lost a football game. There were a lot of times, though, that we ran out of time. We were on our way, but we just didn't have enough time. And I think that's been the case here in this last quarter with Townsend.
Dulé now has hit on 14 of 29 passes for 230 yards. And if you compare that with what he had in the first half, he's had an outstanding second half. St. John's defense, however, has been tough. And they've capitalized on turnovers. Their secondary has been swarming and picking off 4 interceptions. The pitch back to Tom Jones. Jones sweeping, running out of bounds at about the 22 or 1-yard line. Marked at the 22, Mark Hall. 5'11", 185-pound sophomore defensive back runs him out of bounds. Phil Albert, the head coach of Towson State, and his Tigers on the sideline.
That was a good call by Dan DeLay. They needed to pick up a first down. They did it into the sidelines where they could run out of bounds and stop the clock after making the first down.
Now both teams have the same amount of first downs, 14 apiece for the ball game today. Dulé almost stumbles going back to pass. Can't find anybody open. Now he wings it into the corner. It's overthrown on the far side. Intended over there for Ken Snoots. Incomplete, stops the clock with just 1:10 now left in the ball game.
Give up only the short when they're going to try not to give up the long ball.
Snoots and Bennett go out split to the right. The tight end chases on the right side. Dulé looking to throw into the end zone again. It's in for Snoots. Touchdown! With just 1:03 left to play in the game, Towson State again strikes very quickly.
Let's take a look at this play. A great pattern by Kenny Snoots. He just barely stays inbound, takes it in the corner of the end zone. The pass had to be thrown perfectly. It was very well covered by Terry Gagliardi. Ken Snoots now, he's caught, I don't know how many passes for how many yards, but for many.
Bielski's extra point is good, and all of a sudden here, it is now 28. Whoops, there's a penalty marker down, so maybe the extra point is not good. That scoring drive took 1:11, 5 plays going 68 yards.
Ken Snoots has caught 6 passes for 135 yards. And right now, Steve, I'm sure we will see an onside kick attempted by Towson State. They have to get that ball with 1:03 left.
The infraction apparently was against St. John's. It is illegal procedure, and as you can see, they signal the extra point was good. And so, with just 1:03 left in the game, it is now 28-21. St. John's, as you can see, with only 79 yards passing, they got a pass 11 rushing, however, and Towson State has really come on throwing the ball here in the second half.
Here's where you have a great advantage if you have a soccer-style kicker on a non-side kick. A right-footed kicker almost has to kick the ball with, to the left. A soccer-style kicker can approach the ball. He can kick it either to the right or the left, and there's a great element of surprise. The ball has to go 10 yards before it can be recovered legally by the kicking team. If it goes 10 yards, then either member of both teams is eligible to recover an onside kick.
Randy Bielski set to kick off. And there it is. The squibber. They're going to let it go 10 yards. Who's got it? I think Towson State has it. They do. It works. That'll be a perfect onside kick for the Towson State Tigers with 1:02 left in the game.
That kick, the ball had to be kicked perfectly. It had to be kicked perfectly because everyone in the stands, we all knew it. St. John's players all knew it was going to be an onside kick, but it wasn't. Let's take a look at it. It was kicked perfectly. The ball went 15 yards.
The interesting thing about that is that Randy Bielski's brother, Rick Bielski, recovered the kick.
That was from Bielski to Bielski.
Randy the kicker, Rick the receiver. 1st and 10 just across the 40-yard line for Towson State with an opportunity to tie it up and perhaps even win it. Dulé, incomplete, almost intercepted. It was tipped by number 47, Mark Griffin in the secondary. Griffin holding his head because he knew he had an opportunity to pick it off. 2nd down and 10, 56 seconds. Dulé, 15 of 32 passing for 252 yards. In the 4th quarter, the Newt Rockne Bowl has a similar game. 1 second left in the game. Northern Michigan and Akron tied at 23 all.
They will have a sudden, no, they won't have, yeah, they will have a sudden death play
off that game. If it ends in a tie, that's right. The winner of that game advances to the Pioneer Bowl, which you'll see on ABC next Saturday afternoon for the Division II title. This, however, is for the Division III title. 28-21, the draw play. Out to the 30-yard line, and very, very close to first down yardage is Kenny Doyle, the fullback. Tackled by number 81, Tim Christrom, and number 58, Tom Young. Going to be short of first down territory, however. They marked it at about the 32-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go, or a long one. You look at John Gagliardi, the St. John's coach. Doyle has now carried 10 times for 40 yards, and Gagliardi wants to discuss something as the timeout has been called.
That play almost was the biggest play of the ball game because Ken Doyle came within one defensive man of going all the way. He just needed one more step and he would have been gone.
John Gagliardi talking to Tom Cost, his defensive captain and defensive end. It's kind of ironic, Duffy, that St. John's, who started on this game, and they are, there's no doubt about that they are a powerhouse, but they dominated the first half so completely, all of a sudden here they could lose this game in one quick play.
Well, that's what makes football such a great game. And that's when so many thousands of fine young American lads play the game. It's the greatest game in the world.
Dan Dulé, the Towson State quarterback, after conferring with his coach, Phil Albert. It is 3rd down and 1. The ball just outside the 31-yard line of St. John's. There you see what Dulé has done this afternoon. Most of that here in the second half. We have 50 seconds left to play in the game. Dulé on a pitch sweep to Jones. Jones going for the first down and out of bounds. After getting the first down at the 27-yard line of St. John's, Mark Hall, number 34, ran him out of bounds.
46 seconds can be an eternity as far as St. John's is concerned because that is plenty of time to score another touchdown. A touchdown, and then we'll see if they do score a 2-point conversion attempt. Unless they could go for the sudden death playoff.
That's one thing to remember. If in case of a tie, if they do elect to go for it, if they score at all, we will have a sudden death playoff. Dulé, they're going to throw again over the middle, complete. Skip Chase down inside the 10-yard line before he's dropped by Mark Griffin.
Let's take a look at this. Pass to their great tight end, Skip Chase, number 83, who shows he can also run. He doesn't just lumber. There he goes all the way down to the 7. Another timeout now in the field. The Towson State Tigers using up what I think is their last first down. I'm not quite sure, but they have, fortunately for them, saved their timeouts for such a situation as this.
Skip Chase, the big 6'5" tight end for Towson State, now has 6 receptions for 92 yards this afternoon, and perhaps none of them is bigger than that one right there for the Tigers. There's Skip. What a pro prospect he's got to be. He's a senior, 240-pounder, and there is Phil Albert conferring with Dan Dulé. And the second half so far has belonged to Towson State. Let you and I start conjecturing about what could happen in this game. I really believe now we start thinking about the sudden death playoff, that if the Towson State scores, I would imagine they would go for the 1 point and get the tie. Then gamble on the fact that they would each get 8 plays, say from the 15-yard line, and that they could outscore St. John's in the playoff, the sudden death playoff. If you are not familiar with the playoff situation, we will give it to you in the event of a tie. If they go on and tie the game up here, we'll explain it fully to you before the period begins. 39 seconds left to go in the game. 28-21. Towson State trailing and looking to score into the end zone. It's complete, but it's out of bounds. He was over the end line. Mike Bennett caught the ball when he was out of the end zone, and so it is incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 6, and the clock is now down to 34 seconds left to play.
Oh, he came down just about 1 foot out of bounds. It was a fine pattern by Mike Bennett. He went for the corner, and he couldn't get open. And he was covered by that Bulldog defensive back, Terry Garrity. Very fine defensive back.
Doyle and Maloney in the backfield behind Dulé, and Dulé looks to throw again. Good protection in the end zone. Touchdown! Mike Bennett again with a touchdown reception for Towson State. 28-27 with 30 seconds left to play. Let's take another look at it, Duffy. They've done it. They've come back from 28-0 with an opportunity to either tie it up or win it on the conversion here. Penalty marker is down on the field, however. Here it is again.
Let's take a look at the play again. The play that DeLay hung in there. Oh, what a catch by Mike Bennett. What a catch. They're going to go for the 1 point. They're going to go for the extra point.
Randy Bilski will attempt to tie it up. The kick, it's good. Randy Bilski, the sophomore kicker, ties the game with 30 seconds left to play. Towson State has come back on a 6-play drive, going 40 yards in just 33 seconds, and come back from 28-0 to where you see right there a tie game.
I don't know about you, Steve, but I haven't seen a more exciting football game all year.
Got to be one of the great ones, and it is so satisfying to have them playing this kind of game for the Division III National Championship in NCAA football. Here's the extra point again. Randy Bilski tying the game up. What a pressure kick that was.
It shows you that nothing is impossible to diligence and skill, and courage, and tenacity, and determination, dedication.
Just 30 seconds left to play in the game. Towson State now is being assessed with the penalty that happened following the touchdown play. It was a dead ball foul, and so unsportsmanlike contact has been marked off. A 15-yarder back to the 25-yard line of Towson State, and they will have to kick off from that point. Duffy, that might negate an extra point. I mean, an onside kick here back at the 25. They'll probably want to boot it as far as they can now.
Well, I think both teams now are going to play for the sudden death playoff, and let's explain what that is. Now, if the game ends in a tie, each team, they'll toss the coin and see who gets the ball first. They put the ball on the 15-yard line, and each team gets 8 plays. They can score 8 touchdowns in 8 plays if they
Well, that's not really entirely true, Duffy. They have to make a first down. They get their regular 4 plays. They have a total of 8 plays maximum. If they make a first down. Here's a kick at the 25-yard line, taken by Davey O'Brien. O'Brien out near the 40-yard line.
If they score in first down, they get back in second down. They can score 8 touchdowns.
That's true.
But you have to make, you're right, you have to make 10 yards before you get first down, 4 down.
We'll fill you in on that in the event that the game remains a tie in the last 25 seconds. It is 1st and 10 now for St. John's. They led 28-0 at one point. It is tied 28-all. The ball is at the 41-yard line of St. John's, 1st and 10, with 25 seconds left to go in regulation time for the Division III National Championship. It's Norman, Roeder, Eustice, and Schmitz in the backfield for St. John's. Norman to throw. Intended for Roeder. Incomplete. A great defensive play by number 25, John Rawson. Just knocked the ball away from Roeder at the 45.
I called it wrong. It isn't a sudden death playoff. Oh, there's a final. That must have been a playoff. 26-23 in favor of Northern Michigan.
Norman now going to the air for St. John's. 1 of 3 passing here in the second half, as the Johnnies have not thrown the ball much. 21 seconds now left to go in the game. 2nd down and 10 from the 41-yard line of St. John's. Again, Norman wants to throw a long one down here. Intended for Roeder. He's got it. Roeder. He is. Roeder to go all the way. At the 5-yard line. He's still to the 1. Unbelievable play on 2nd and 10 from their own 41. Norman hits Jim Roeder all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Let's take a look at the official. Jim Roeder catches this pass. from Norman. Then the official inadvertently makes a good block for him, a screen block. He cuts back inside. You didn't see that. There's the official. Screened out the defensive back. And Roeder almost scored, going down to about the 1-yard line. Time for one play left in the ball game if it's a running play.
A 58-yard pass play from Jeff Norman to Jim Roeder, and St. John strikes just as quickly as Towson State has been doing it. Roeder with 2 catches for 68 yards following the 58-yarder. Here's that play again, Duffy.
I know the official will feel badly, but he does screen off the defensive back. Screens out the defensive back and permits Roeder to go all the way to the 1-yard line.
Norman now passing 4 of 12 for 137 yards. And a big one like that is the biggest play of the game. There are 7 seconds left to play in the game. It is 1st and goal, St. John's from the 1-yard line of Towson State. Goal line defense for Towson State. Ball is loose.
I don't believe he made it.
Joe Kelly, number 48, makes the hit.
To have a field goal attempt now on the last play of the game by Jeff Norman, who is an excellent kicker.
Even though it's only 2nd down, Norman to attempt the field goal that could give St. John's the win. Becker will hold, and quarterback Jeff Norman will attempt a field goal from the 9-yard line. It will be a 19-yard attempt with 3 seconds left on the clock, and the score tied 28 all. The rush is on. It's up. It's good.
And the game is over.
Time runs out on the clock, and St. John's of Minnesota has held on to defeat Towson State 31-28. On Jeff Norman's 19-yard field goal at the gun. What a game, Duffy, for the National Championship of Division III. As you see John Gagliardi, the St. John's coach, coming onto the field. We'll be back to wrap it up with NCAA college football at the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl on ABC. Steve Zabriskie and Duffy Doherty back here at Phoenix City, Alabama. And here is what did it, Duffy.
The last play of the game, a field goal by Jeff Norman of 19 yards to win the game 31-28, and one of the great exciting games of all time.
Unbelievable contest, and we certainly hope that you enjoyed it and that you stayed with us for this Division III National Championship football game. This is Steve Zabriskie for Duffy Doherty and our entire ABC crew. Travel arrangements made through a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. Fly the friendly skies of United, where you're the boss. Once again, the final score here this afternoon. St. John's winning the Division III National Championship over Towson State on a 19-yard field goal at the gun, 31-28. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.